Oh, I got a couple things to get. I'm still got firing things up. I launched into this very unprepared today.
Well, all your fans that logged on the instant you started
I
streaming
know, all
are
live zero of
judging
them.
you. They're all judging you very harshly,
I'm
as am
just
I.
just watching my follower count plummet.
I'm unsubscribing right now. Actually, I don't know if my last sub is still active. I should probably pay attention to stuff like that.
I mean, like maybe a little bit, but
Maybe.
you do you.
Just
Is
a little
why
bit.
is Nightbot not there? Nightbot?
Nightbot is. Have you been paying Nightbot?
I haven't. Okay, there's
Yeah,
Nightbot.
okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Oh.
Man, I like the music in Stellaris.
It's some pretty good music.
Sometimes when I launch up Stellaris, and I think to myself, "Am I actually feeling this right now?" And then I hear the music, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I am. This is drawing me in. Yeah, absolutely, I do."
That's kind of like Stellaris's magic trick.
hmm
It's just it sneaks you in with that music.
Mass Effect does that to me too. I'll get in the menu of Mass Effect, be like, "I'm bored. We'll play Mass Effect, I guess. We'll finish some storylines." And I get in there, I'm like, "Oh, that's right." And I hear the little quiet little Mass Effect silence of space music thing they got going on. I don't know. It's very. It, I don't know how to describe the music in the beginning other than like kind of sweet, but also terrifying because it reminds you of the void of space. But it's fine. You're inside your ship. I don't know.
Mhm.
It captures things. I should also say I have weird feelings about Mass Effect because my first time playing it, I was like in a fever half the time. It was
Mhm.
when I got so sick that I was like sick for like almost a whole month, and I got fired from Vivint because
Oh
I was
yeah.
sick.
Also,
And
hello,
like
Favorian. Immediately
oh,
coming
hey,
interrupting about. We're talking
hey,
about Ben getting fired from the Viv, which we normally refer to as the
yeah.
Viv for
Oh yeah,
legal
for reasons.
reasons.
I see. Yeah, the
I
Viv.
mean, like what they're gonna do.
They fired me for getting. Yeah, I know. They're watching the stream, being like, "Our previous employees representing us well." Oh.
Well, I still technically kind of
Uh,
am. There's like a weird employment situation there. I'm trying to work out with them for me, because I got a Boston office,
huh.
but yeah,
Oh,
I've had no movement on that
huh.
for a very long
A
time.
while.
So I don't know where that
Hmm.
sits. I mean, like I kind of vaguely know where it sits, but where that sits isn't necessarily stream knowledge.
Yeah, but yeah, I was very sick with like multiple different viruses, and so I was just bedridden all day. So I was like, might as well try Mass Effect. I see all those gamer poop videos that one guy does, making by Manslayer. I think that's his name. Yeah, Manslayer. And I think they're very funny. So I decided to try playing it, and I played all three of them uh, while I was sick for that month, and because I was very ill and half the time in like a weird fever dream, and sometimes it was all I did literally all day long. Uh, it's like it's a weird whole phase. Anyways, anytime I look at Mass Effect, I get weird goosebumps.
Okay. I mean, that's like a very sounds like a very fair situation, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think
it's
of like
something.
it's
It's
something.
sitting there.
It's something.
It's
Okay.
something.
Hello, Moth. How are you doing? Are you
Oh,
ready?
I should probably also tap into the stream so I can see the chat. Say hello
I
to
mean,
our beloved viewers.
yeah. Like
Beautiful.
it says you're in. Why ain't you letting me join them? Oh, you're not hosting yet. Probably. I take it.
Uh, I should be just about still on a loading screen.
Moth's doing. I'm doing something. You know, we can't always have good days. I'm glad you're here. don't feel obligated to stay. But it's always good to see you.
I gotta watch a commercial first
Oh,
before I can.
what? You're not subbed to me? I'm so offended. How will I
Who?
ever cope from my loss of income? You're watching an ad. It means you're not subbed to
Oh,
me.
oh
I'm
no! The
being
sub must have
facetious.
ended.
Now this is a good distraction. Well, I'm glad we can be a good distraction. We just hear.
Yes.
Oh, this might not count as a distraction, but I want to pick your thoughts on this. Have you been following any of the Suez Canal stuff, Ben?
Just memes.
Just
Uh,
the
just the
meme
memes.
after meme.
Meme
It
after
has
meme.
been
I'm kind of surprised what a consciousness the meming community has on events like. But I shouldn't be surprised considering the whole Wall Street thing.
yeah,
But this doesn't have like a quirky the ship is named after Doge or something.
yeah.
Uh, so
I heard someone nickname it. Um, there's been a couple great names for it. I think Blocky McBlockface was my favorite one. To
yeah,
parallel
like
the name
call it like the
of Bodie
Bodie
McBoatface is
McBoatface.
Blocky McBlockface.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I've been a couple ones. I don't know. I've just been living for it. Just like it's just such like a
It's
stupid little thing. Like we got the boat stuck.
it's stupid but refreshing. Like
Mm,
this is a refreshing world event.
yeah.
It's just, oh, someone blocked the canal and they need to go around now. That's fun.
Like,
That's not world-ending and life-threatening. That I like that. That's
yes,
good
yeah,
world news.
yeah. It's just good world
That's
news. Some idiot is
that
hurting global capitalism. I'm okay with this.
that that's a relieving economic global economic crisis,
Look, there are
which is a
one of
testament to the year we've had.
there's like one of two options with those crew right now. One is that this is just like the most baller move anyone could do as a middle figure to global economics. Like if this was intentional, like 10 out of 10. But if it wasn't intentional, they have just like one upped the what is the worst mistake job that you have made at your job for anyone. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're not the guy, you're not the guy who like lost like 10 grand because you didn't put the safe key in. No, no, no. They shut down global commerce
Global
through the Suez
commerce.
Canal for at least 3 days and going because the boat is just stuck.
It's just stuck.
Someone
It's
posted
so
like
funny.
a picture of like kids solutions and they were like just beautiful kids solutions like why don't we just hook it to a car and drive it, and someone else is like why don't you just like pick the boat up and turn it. And then there's of course like that one agent of chaos that there always is amongst children who's like, just blow it all up. And like, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
kid.
just blow it up. I saw it might have just been a meme, but I thought it was a little bit intentional. Like the crew was being goofy their whole trip because apparently on the tracking they made like I mean on the tracking basically they drew a dick in the ocean and
Okay,
then went and got
okay.
wedged in the canal.
I,
It's
I, I
it's
really hope that's true. I
I do
really
too.
hope that's
I've
true.
only seen one meme of it, and it was the first meme I saw of this whole thing. And then after that, it was just a whole bunch of, oh yeah, they're stuck in
Moth
the.
saw it.
Okay,
Okay,
Moth saw the dick, so
if you can
that's a little
find
bit of
the
confirmation.
if you can find the link for this and post it in my Discord, I would love
I
this.
should I should have saved the image when I found it, but I looked at it as like,
Okay, to
yeah,
clarify,
people drawing dick. That's funny.
and let's also tone it back down a little bit because family friendly stream.
Oh
I
right,
think we've hit
sorry.
our quota of saying that word for family friendly stream. And like, don't
Sir,
feel
when you're
obligated to
family
find it, Moth.
friendly,
If you happen to see this pic the boat had drawn, we can call it a pic of a boat
art
variety.
is accurate anatomy.
And
That is still acceptable.
if you could find it, post it in probably like the politics channel if it's like a very obvious one. If it's just a goofy one, like maybe in the meme dump, but only if you see it. If you don't, like, don't feel like you have to go digging for it. That's most likely a general. If it comes across your feed again, I would love to see the article.
Oh, by the way, you can connect.
Oh, I can connect.
Yeah.
Well, now I can connect. I'm connecting. Did you do a password?
No.
No. What?
Yeah, no. It's okay. I'm
But
confirming you.
but the security.
I know a lot of people do try to break into our games and
I have
just raid us.
I have like 4 viewers, Ben. We gotta watch for them stream snipers. They're just gonna be right there trying to like sneak into all of my multiplayer Stellaris games that have been going on for like a
Yeah,
month already.
sneak in and take control of an empire and just snipe us right out of the game.
Hmm.
Just no
Using those
scoping.
pro gamer moves known as strategy and
They
knowing what
speed
to
run
do.
Stellaris, double
Yeah,
jump and glitch through the universe to the I don't know.
you gotta take your colony ship and you gotta go up, down, left, right. And then you got to colonies, but you gotta cancel and then try it a second time, and it's like the Kojima joke code, but in
Yeah,
Stellaris.
yeah, just like
The
that.
trickiest part is finding the perpendicular planets to pull it off.
Of course, yeah. It's rare. They're most often found in the L cluster, so you kind of. But yeah. Otherwise, there's just a 0.52% chance of one spawning with a habitable within a starting system. You know, so.
You found a screenshot? Well, if you want to post a screenshot, I do appreciate it. Again, don't feel like you have to like go down the rabbit hole of searching. This is mostly just so like if you see it. Oh, speaking of increasing cult
Here,
sizes, what do you know of the game Genshin Impact, Ben?
a little bit. It's a waifu collection game. I know that's not what's intent necessarily, advertised as, but that's what people use it for, apparently, right?
Like some people, yes, but it's actually like a really good game. Have you ever played Breath of the Wild? Like,
No, I have not had a chance
okay,
yet.
it is a really good game that looks a little bit similar to Breath of the Wild, but a bit more anime. It,
I saw you stream a little bit of it
yeah.
once.
Moth
Uh,
says it's a gotcha game, so I know some people. I would definitely not say it's not a waifu collection game. I wouldn't call it that. I know some people are going to use it for
I
that.
know
Yeah.
that's just the meme. Most often when it's not people I know directly, people that reference Genshin Impact, it's hey, look at all my waifus. Look at this one, and they're just talking about which hot ladies with hot lady armor they collected. And that's basically all they do with it.
Moth
Listen,
takes full offense.
uh, listen. I'm not taking credit for portraying Genshin Impact that way, alright? I can only take what's been presented it to me, okay? Alright? I haven't played the game. That's just what I've seen, it's
So
what I've been
what
shown.
I'm hearing is that you need to play the game.
Yeah, well, I don't know, I guess. I don't know.
It's
I don't
free.
like collecting anime teams.
It's free.
Yeah, okay, alright. Yeah,
You
okay,
should you should
alright.
give it a go. I'm just saying you should give it a go. I just really enjoyed it.
Listen, I'll say this.
Wait,
I was
wait a
watching
minute,
your
wait a minute,
stream
wait a
and I've
minute,
been
wait a
seeing
minute.
screenshots and stuff. What?
You played Idle Heroes.
Which one is that? Which one's Idle Heroes?
That's like 10 times the waifu collection game, gotcha game to Genshin Impact.
Well, hey, before you go accuse me of stuff, wait, which one is which one is Idle Heroes?
The one that's like AFK Arena but not AFK Arena?
Oh, mobile games?
It's a mobile game.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Probably did at one point. But do you know what I do in those games?
What?
I usually find monsters.
That's true.
Just collect monsters.
You usually collect monsters.
Hey, listen. I didn't say I'm above waifu collection games. I just said Genshin Impact has been presented as one. That's just all I know, okay? Nah, I don't. I played. I think
Monsters
that's
can
one
be
that I.
waifus.
They can be. I agree wholeheartedly. And the part I left out about collecting monsters was the monster waifu.
My favorite. Oh, sorry, go on.
Because I do remember one of the monsters I collected was definitively a waifu, but she had like the most broken healing damage powers in the whole game. So I pretty much just tried to collect copies of her and level him up as much as I possibly could. And yeah, I had the rest of the team, but honestly, it almost always came down to all my team is dead except her. But every time she deals damage, she also heals herself, and vice versa. And that became common, and everyone had one of her on their team, so it just ended up those two blasting each other and healing themselves with it for the next 30 rounds, and then you end up with a draw. I only played that game for like a month, and then I quit
Um,
because it got ridiculous.
so yeah, so Chi-Chi. That's
Is
one of
that
the.
a character
It's a
from
character in
Genshin?
Genshin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
I figured.
So I played. I used to play. I had like a 2 month deep dive into AFK Arena, which is not the one that you played. It's you played. I think I was Idle Heroes. And I got into it, and like the thing about like a lot of those gotcha games, like the gotcha idle games, is that there's a certain point when it's just waiting. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing about Genshin is that you can run around and explore open world style and kill stuff. So that's kind of what
Yeah.
makes it much more enjoyable. There's actually like a game there.
It's not an arena. It's a full RPG with gotcha mechanics.
hmm
Yeah.
Yep, that's probably spot on the best way to explain it.
Is it multiplayer beyond, I'm assuming, PvP? There's got to be PvP, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know if there is PvP. There is multiplayer. You have to get to
Really?
like adventure rank 16. And so like the way it works is you have a party of 4 players, but then there's no PvP. Yeah, but there's co-op where you can summon people to your world or go to
Really?
their world. And it's like standard MMO experience. You take the slot of a party member. Kind of like Divinity. It's like Divinity co-op rules.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
okay, okay,
if you
okay.
have 2 players, they have 2 characters, you have 2 characters. And then if you have 3 players, they each have one, host has 2, and then with 4 players, everyone has their own character.
Okay.
Kind of like Divinity co-op rules, would probably be the best way to put it. We should play Divinity on stream sometime.
Divinity is very fun. It's enjoy. See, so Baldur's Gate came out in early access, and
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 3, and my friend shared it with me over the Steam Family Library, and we all played a little bit of it, and it is very fun, very immersive, and
Yeah.
very still not finished. You can only get to like
Mm.
level 4. So uh, instead of playing it, you know, half half finished and getting invested in the storyline before you can actually play the whole storyline, decided to put it on the back burner and wanted to play Divinity instead. Yeah, I'd love to play a little Divinity. It's been a
Baldur's.
while since I played it.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of really want to play Divinity. It's been a hot moment since I
Come
played
on, Taylor.
Divinity.
We got
I know, we gotta focus on
we got
Stellaris.
focus.
We gotta actually
One
play
game
through
at
the
a time.
Stellaris.
Come on.
I know, I know. I
One game at a
know. I
time,
just
my
like
guy.
Divinity.
Divinity is very good, though. Is the thing, isn't it?
Divinity makes my keyboard light up.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the only game I've had that's actually implemented use of the chromatic backlighting on my keyboard.
You know, no offense, since you just said that you have one, the chromatic light up stuff, it really bugs me. Not in like a
That's
moral
because
way,
you're
just in a
colorblind.
I'm colorblind and the light is very distracting when I'm trying to play my game, and I find it very. Uh, Ramranic sold me his old computer, and it has RBG lighting inside the casing itself, like kind of built in.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Yeah, can I turn that off?" He's like, "No, but why would you want to? It's RBG. All gamers love RBG. Come on."
So
And I was like, "Yeah,
I
no, I
I
kind of went
am
and
not
unplugged the whole thing."
I'm not RBG or die. I do like RBG. I like it. How do I put it this way? Divinity is the game that, like, on my keyboard personally, I have a very soft shuttle switch between purple and blue because they're not distracting colors, and I like the backlight. Like, it's just a very
Yeah.
soft, subtle transition between and forth. That's what I use it. I don't rainbow it. However, Divinity's use of it is what sold me on the concept. Having a keyboard that, like, loading barred with the screen. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it would start on the one end and like
Oh
light up
yeah.
slowly across. Or like you cast a fireball and the keyboard lights up orange, and you cast lightning and it lights up blue or white. that is what sold it to me. Because it was like, if a studio is going to use it, it's just extra ambient lighting. And I can see it
Yeah,
used for that. The
I
thing
get
is,
that.
though, is it's nowhere near the point where it's really worth having other than like a cool feature. It's like
Yeah,
it's pointless auxiliary. I think it looks cool and I like it, but
look,
I wouldn't
I'll
spend
say
extra
this:
money for it.
I like the soft pulsing lights as like a
Mhm.
backlight in any context other than when I'm trying to play games and focus on the screen. You know,
That's true.
uh, it's it's distracting, it's unhelpful, and I feel like it's just going to lead to me getting headaches. But I'm not going to condemn anyone that wants to light up all their gear, and
All you youngins and your RGBs and RBGs
because it's
and
not a
RBs.
moral thing by any means.
The
It's
moral
just
high ground of boring
the
keyboards.
moral high ground of you use. Well, I mean, listen, it's rainbow colors, and that's pretty gay.
JRPGs.
And as we all know, it's super evil out here.
Yeah,
All right,
that's why
it's
you're
a
half
true
evil.
fact that we all know.
Half
You know
whole?
my favorite phrase to describe myself.
I do know your favorite phrase to describe yourself, but we're not going to say that word on stream.
What can I say? My friends, when I came out, were all Hollywood, Hollywood folk.
Yeah. We'll put it this way. We're going to say it this way for the chat who's watched, and LGBT members will probably understand this. There are there's a lot of debate. No, you'll know what word I'm talking about. There's a lot of debate. While the word queer has been reclaimed, there's another word that begins with an F that some LGBT members like to use for themselves and some LGBT members vehemently oppose. And while if you aren't LGBT, you never use that word. Ben,
Yeah,
who is bi, um, kind of came out of the closet to LGBT members who were pro using that word, and described him as a half that. And that's his favorite way to describe himself to people as someone who is bi.
uh, I love it. I think it's hilarious. It's very good. It's flippant. It's defiant. It's punk rock.
It's
But
his
I also
just
try to
knock
be
someone off edge type word.
yeah, no. I do try to be sensitive to what
What's
company
it's
I'm
constant
around.
things because like the thing is, and
But
again, I had two people that I worked with who were both I'm trying to think of like the word. They're gay. They were both gay men. One loved using that word and loved to death using that word, and he would use that word particularly because it would off-put people who knew they couldn't use that word, and kind of it caused them to kind of contemplate and acknowledge him. But then I have another person who used that word, and that word makes him ill. He doesn't like it at all. And it entirely, I think, has to do with like me and you grew up in an area where no one said that word because there just
mhm.
weren't LGBT people growing up in small
Yeah.
town Utah. There were, just none of them were out of the closet.
Yeah,
So
no active, no
yeah, we didn't
open.
we didn't hear that word until we were adults. I think for both of us, the first time we ever heard that word was by LGBT people using it, outside of like reading a book that was English and used it as a cigarette. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, we never heard the word not used by LGBT people growing up.
Well, I'll say this. I did hear it plenty in junior high, but you know,
Yeah, it's true.
uh it was a fun insult back in the day, but no one was open about their status, so it was
Yeah.
yeah, nah. But yeah, no, my were my very very close friends, which by the way, I can't put up links or anything. They're a drag queen in Hollywood right now. Wait, where is he? He's in not in Hollywood. Not right now. He's in what part of California is he in?
Is this the one who shares a name with a prominent animal themed superhero?
Animal themed
The
superhero.
common name. Also the name of a city in Utah.
Oh yeah, that one. We call him Bushka because
Bushka.
he was
Yeah, babushka.
our little Russian grandmother, which is carried over into his drag career as Vivian Vidette.
Babushka was
which
great.
I feel very comfortable advertising
Okay.
because
Well, no,
unique views.
we can always shout out a drag queen here. We need to ask if our
I
other mutual friend who got into drag still does it, because I wouldn't mind giving him a shout out. Trombone
uh
olive firing can
oh yeah 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 yeah
or
yeah yeah
gas
yeah
can.
yeah 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 yeah
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
need to get back in contact with him. It's been a
I
bit.
talk to him every once in a while. He sent
That's
me
good.
he sent me a scantily clad Halloween photo a couple of
Good,
years
good.
back.
That's how you know they're doing well. Go make sure your drag queens are doing well.
It wasn't drag. It was just like him in
You can tell by
suspenders
the
and short
pictures they send you.
shorts.
Epic. Very good.
I freaking love him. He's such a good guy.
A swell
Oh,
fella.
swell fella. The last time we talked was this awkward moment of I was asking him for makeup advice, and
Mm-hmm.
um and as I was talking to him, there was like this awkward moment where I could tell he wasn't sure because we grew up. We're from Utah. You have to have a layer of assuming everyone you know in high school is a conservative anti-LGBT a-hole. Like you kind of have to assume that at a base. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
I could tell that he wasn't sure where I sat on that. And we kind of had this like these like we were talking makeup, but there were those little bits of questions that were like, "So, were you paying attention to the elections that are going on?" Da, 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 da. And then it was like when I finally caught on to what he was trying to fish for, I'm like, "Oh no, 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 dude! I'm like anarcho-communist. Like I'm far left. I'm far, far left. You're good, dude. You can be like you're good. We're fine. I got you." And it was just like a perfectly fine, fun, normal conversation after that. When he knew that he was a safe space for us to discuss this in. Which you think he would have caught from me asking him for like makeup advice from, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta test the boundaries. Like, okay, so how flavored can I give you this advice about
Yeah.
makeup? How do I need to phrase this? Yeah, I have a great picture of this Bushka friend of mine
If Bushka gives
in
permission to
college.
share, we should share.
Yeah, we should. Well, it's not of them. It's they're when we were in college and they were first getting into drag for the very first time. They used me as an experimental model
Oh,
for some drag makeup, and
wait,
it's great. It's
we got
fantastic, is what I gotta say.
we got a Ben in drag, and I've never seen this photo.
Not in full drag, just a beaten mug. We were experimenting with gluing eyebrows back, and let's just say I look like the world's saddest clown. It's very good. My eye sockets and deep furrow brows and resting bitch face really. I'm sorry, resting grumpy face really. Uh, boy, they sure do work good. It's an amazing picture, honestly.
I want to see this.
I don't think I have any pictures of myself in full drag. I don't think so, anyways. Lord knows I wore plenty of ladies' clothes in college, but I
You
don't
know,
think
you
did
know.
much in
Speaking
pictures.
of not Babushka, but the other drag person we were talking about. Do you know what drag they freaking nailed? Did you ever see their Melania
What?
drag? Like their
Oh, I
Melania,
think I did. That was
the
a
The
while ago.
Melania Trump drag that they did forever ago, like 2016, when it was just like,
Yeah,
oh, this is gonna be a bad idea, and we didn't know like just where that was gonna go.
just have
He did drag
yeah.
as Melania, and I don't know if I could even find it anymore, but it was almost like
I do remember that.
almost
It
picture
was great.
perfect. Like you could, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference between the two of them. It was that freaking good a drag. Just like it was just Melania with like slightly heavier makeup than normal. It was 10 out of 10.
Very good. Very good. Here,
We can actually probably unpause this.
yeah. I'm gonna put that I don't think I actually have to dig for the picture because I used it recently for a face app thing, so I think I know where it is. I can just put it right in the Discord if you want to
Yes,
see.
please.
Just a minute. It's loaded. Let's figure it out. Let's see. Where should I put it? Arts and crafts.
It could be arts and crafts. I guess arts and
Crafts or show and
crafts.
tell or something. Where do you think I should drop that? Probably maybe show and tell.
Okay. Moth, the boat picture that you posted in the meme dump channel with the boat photoshopped onto the Austin Powers gif is just phenomenal. Was that a beautiful artwork finding, or did you actually make that? Oh, and Mare's drink picture. That's relatable. Okay. Where did I tell you? Did we say arts and crafts? I think arts and crafts is close enough.
Yeah, okay. Do. Okay, after this, I promise we'll start playing the actual game.
Look, we mentioned drag. This is more important. What? Yeah, Moth's got all eyes.
All eyes are staring. I guess it is a little bit far back in my feed. Oh yeah, I've been messing around with that face app a lot. Do. I was so confident I wouldn't have to dig for it.
You've given me enough time to find an appropriate GIF. That's how long you've taken.
Boy, that's quite a while though, isn't it?
I like to think my gift game's pretty good. I have watched some of RuPaul's Drag Race, not a lot. I have never watched Dragula.
I've
Oh,
watched
how'd I put this?
Dragula.
I really appreciate drag makeup. I do not like reality TV show attitudes, which is
True enough.
kind of a put off for me for drag. Like if I could watch the drag show without the drama, I would watch it more. But drama is very, very high emotion, and it's just kind of a put off for me. I'm like,
Yeah, that's true enough. I
watch a lot of like,
co-
yeah. Sorry, go on.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, if I'm watching reality TV shows, I usually end up watching like Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen's Nightmares, or like those kind of things, or like a ghost hunting documentary, which are like sounds stupid, but there's not like interperson drama in those particularly. Sometimes with like Kitchen's Nightmares there is, but like with Kitchen Nightmares, it's some arrogant idiot being put in their place, and I don't mind that as much. Although I don't know how
There it
Gordon
is.
Ramsay's kind of like a.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Are you referring to those eyelids being perfect on the arts and crafts gift that I posted of the owl?
No, I'm just seeing this picture again. It's real good. Oh boy. Here you go, publicity. Go ahead and take a little peeksy poo at this one.
I,
Oh yeah.
the what? Were you going for? I can like see how this would have evolved into drag, but right now it looks like a terrible Joker cosplay.
Yeah. No, the again, first attempt, just experimenting with gluing eyebrows, and
It does look like a.
yeah, that's
It looks like a bad Joker cosplay.
that's why I said I looked like the world's saddest clown. Just
Okay, I mean like,
ew,
I would
gross.
assume. Actually, a UK drag race would probably be much more drama free. If you've ever watched like the Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, I have watched that. Yeah.
It's like the most drama free.
Chill, relax.
Yeah. Do you know what song I have stuck in my head?
No.
I didn't figure. Like in hindsight, no one here would. But Studio Killer's Jenny. It's been
Oh
stuck
yeah,
on
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
head
yeah, yeah.
all day. You know the one I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about because I got addicted to Studio Killers for a little bit, and before all their videos started coming out, and when their videos started coming out, I was like, oh boy, I'm addicted all over again.
It's like just the kind of like
Do
edgy, artsy
do
crap.
do 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 do. Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Jenny darling, you're my best friend. I steal your pillowcase and use your makeup, baby. That's how it goes. I remember.
Perfect. Spot on.
Yeah,
Perfect
thanks.
lyrics.
Uh,
Bit of a country
I
twang
think one
on
of my
that.
yeah, that's what they're known for is a little country twang.
Oh, we started going. When did we
I
start
think
going?
I just barely pressed play.
Okay.
I think probably one of my favorite Studio Killers song is what's it called? Eros and Apollo.
That's a really good one. Actually, this is probably one of the better known ones, but I really enjoyed All Men Are Pigs.
That one was fun. Wasn't as melodically moving as I
No,
prefer, but it was
it,
still
it's got
very
it's
entertaining.
like a very beat song,
Yeah,
for lack of a
which
better
I
word.
mean, to be fair, it's club music, so all
Yeah.
of it is pretty beat. But yeah, I still enjoy. I enjoy. Listen, I enjoy all of their songs. I've enjoyed them. Let's see. Curious.
It's in like I actually went to like hear the song out myself. Um 1 second, let's pause here. Who is this
Oh
doing?
yeah, the Bernathi system. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you get granted them association status at one point, and the term is ended on that, or is they
No,
have they?
they've elected to end
Oh,
it,
they okay.
which could be a sign that they're going to try some stuff. So you gotta watch them because that's on your border.
Yeah, it looks like
Well, that's a long way to get over there.
their opinion's gone down a little bit, but it looks like we're still cordial right now.
Where's this archaeological site? I'm assuming not anywhere that I can actually work on it.
It should be mine.
Yeah,
It's
it
got
is
a moon
yours.
base one.
It is yours. Okay, we can resume. Jenny, darling, you're my best friend. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. But there's a few things that you don't know. The song bops.
Yeah, Studio Killers, they're bops.
They're bopping.
Little noggin bops.
We have surveyed the system.
Random chills. Random chills. You get those, don't you? When
Random
you're like,
chills.
yeah, you're like sitting there and your body's like, I'm gonna like fling your phone across the room a little bit here. Like, it's like never like
Yeah.
it's like not like super intense, but it's kind of a little intense, and you're like, what you doing? What?
Okay.
Why you do that, body?
Our construction
Body
is
goes
complete.
blur.
Yeah, precisely.
It's the most accurate statement I've ever had.
Oh, there it is. It's hiding. I found the.
How likely is it, do you think, that I could take on the Sakit Remnant?
Remnant. Let's see. Where are they?
They are my northern neighbor. They're a fallen xenophobic
Oh.
fallen xenophobic empire. Oh, what you
Yeah, no
guys want?
problem.
Where are these guys?
Yeah, you could take them. No problem.
What do you want? I mean, I got like tons of food. How much food do you want? Yeah, you can have food. I usually don't mind like the whatever they're called, like demanding resources. I usually just give them
The
food.
Marauders.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh yeah, just
Yeah. Oh no, all my food. I care
all
so
my
much about you. So much
food.
of. Oh,
We got
excellent.
we got some more Suez Canal memes. I want the Suez
So,
Canal memes.
Ascension Bug Collective. You constructed a gateway?
I didn't. I got
Huh.
the same message for you though.
Oh, okay. I've been repairing one, so I'm guessing the other side is somewhere in your territory.
It actually is.
Which is neat. That's neat. Let's
Because I can
see.
actually see which one it is. I have one
The
from
goes from
Terrata.
Terra to Aussie whatever.
Yeah. That's
Louisiana.
it's actually a nifty one.
That's a very good one, and it'll be very. You will want to put a starbase on that one though, I think, because
I
if these
already
guys,
actually
these
have one.
that's good, because if these fellas, these guys on Heaven's Gate, Beetlejuice and such, decide to go against us, there's a direct line from their territory to that one, which will lead right into your territory. So I'd put a few defenses down, get ready for a rumble, if that ever happens, you know.
Yay! We'll see what we get. These
Could
are
always
top
just
10
declare-
Suez Canal memes, Moth.
Nice. Here's something risky and aggressive. We could declare war on these marauders while they're, before they spawn all those deadly ships. Just take the territory for ourselves if we wanted. But I've never tried that before. I don't know if that triggers something.
I mean, I don't know their strength is the problem.
From what I can see, I think I've got pretty good visibility so far. It looks like they have, it's safe to assume around 25,000 fleet power.
I mean, I only
that
got
I
like
can see so
6.
far.
Well, hello, Raiders! From the wonderful Ram. Can we get a shout out for Ramoranic there? Hello, Raiders! My name is Tadafi. I'm a variety
Hey.
streamer who tries to stream every single day, and I'm playing some Stellaris with Ben.
Hey, what's up? I know Ram personally, very
We
intimately.
do know
My
Ramoranic.
dear
And
sweet
they
friend,
thank
so
you
if
for the
like
sub,
him,
Ram.
you like me too. Oh, nice. Hello,
I
Mr.
will-
Giggles. I've seen your name in chat before.
Ramoranic, thank you for the sub, Ram. I really appreciate that. And I did do the shout out for you because I was fast as lightning. Although using it as your sub command or sub message was a 10 out of 10. Much strong play. And hello, Mr. Giggles. I know who you are too. Welcome back to the stream. We just doing some Stellaris. I am the hive mind known as the Ascension Bug Collective. And Ben is the Horde of Space Zombies.
Yeah, I'm the horde of space zombies. That's who I am.
Who told you? Who told me what? I think I missed something there. I'm a little bit spacey tonight, to be honest, so.
Who told you who he is, I'm guessing?
Oh, I'm assuming. That's like the sound my mind makes. Brain goes burr.
Yeah.
Ich hat keinen Idee. Ich hat keinen Idee. Meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Ich spreche
Yeah, I
Deutsch,
understood
aber
that.
eine 2 Jahre alt.
You're only 2 years old.
No, I just grammatically incorrectly said I speak German like a 2-year-old.
Oh, there we go. I got the Yara alt and Zwei.
You did get the 2 Jahre alt.
I'm very smart that way, you see. So the thing about me in German is I've taken a consecutive, not consecutive, what is it when non-consecutively but all together? What's that word I'm trying to think of?
Collectively?
I guess collectively. I think there's a different one, but collectively works. collective, I think 3 academic years of German, and never passed with more than a C.
Non sequitur means not in sequence.
Non
Sequitur.
non secular, without the approval
Sequitur.
of the church. Yeah, I know. I'm doing a
You
doing a
doing a
little
bit?
twist. I'm doing a bit.
Oh, we're so proud of you in doing your bits.
Church approved bit, no less.
Church.
Or non approved.
I mean, if it's a secular one.
Yeah, no, that's a problem. We all non secular out here.
I found the Artist Guild. The Artist Guild is a bit intimidating. What y'all doing?
Yeah?
They're the necrophages with like the mask and cloak.
Nice. Oh yeah, those ones. Oh dang, baby boy. Oh sweet. Heck yeah. We got this
There's
sweet
a
territory
few
I'm
things that you
gobbling
don't
up.
know. It's gonna be just stuck in my head. It's gonna be just stuck. It's just, it lives there now.
That's where it exists perpetually.
Perpetually fueled. I forgot that the Sidrian Junction is on our side. How about all of that rain? How'd you know that it's raining where
Oh,
I
yeah.
live? Except it's not right now. Is it raining in this? Is it raining back in the mountainous region of Utah?
It has been raining quite a bit. Well, for Utah, anyways. Which is
It's a
any
desert.
amount.
Yeah. Any amount of rain is above average. What happened to Utah? It was wet.
It was
Once.
wet. Anomaly? What kind of anomaly is this? Some sort of structure floating a gas giant's upper atmosphere that appears to be using aerostatic lift to remain buoyant? Yeah, I'll research that.
1 second. I will be right back. I'm just going to open the door to try to create a draft, a crosswind through my apartment, because it is like 1,000,000 degrees today out here. And by 1,000,000 degrees, I
Yeah.
mean like 60, and that's too hot for me.
Also, Taylor's just really stinky. He's just a smelly man. I could. Nah, I just like making stink jokes. Damn, I'm funny.
We have surveyed the system.
My roommate is out of town, so I can like
Oh,
have
you
my
got a
door
roommate?
open and stream. I do have. Did you not know I have a roommate?
I know surprisingly little about your living situation, my dear friend.
Yeah, no, I have a roommate. I am renting a apartment,
Our construction is
and
complete.
I won't say her name or
It
anything.
makes sense.
But
It makes sense that Oh, Gray know whose it is.
it's not the
The
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
It's not. It feels a little
Oh,
bit insulting to my roommate. Like, I don't know what I can
to be
say about
compared
my
to
room.
a beautiful, majestic creature.
Well, I don't know. I can.
What do you mean you don't know Sasquatch? Sasquatch is gorgeous, beautiful,
Sasquatch.
mysterious, intriguing,
You got the pics, Gray. Well, hello, Gray.
affluent.
All the chaos has been brought back to my town. Squatch is pure and beautiful picture. I hear it has a medical degree that it uses to make
Yeah.
soap.
Oh, another anomaly measured surface temperature of Osvila is
It's
hundreds
Mr.
of
Giggles.
degrees.
Mr.
despite
Giggles
the
got it.
surface. Hey, listen, I got it too, okay? Soap man thinks that soap is detergent, okay? I know that doctor, okay? All right? I watch YouTube. I know the good doctor, all right?
Have you actually watched any of the show The Good Doctor?
Which one is the good doctor? Is that the British one where he's on a little island? Or is it a different drama?
Moth
Is it
refuses to
British or is
watch
it
it.
Scottish?
I've heard really, really mixed views about it. It's not British or
Oh,
Scottish. It's about a
is
savant, someone with savant syndrome who's an amazing.
that's what it
Um,
is? Yeah, I've seen clips of it.
I've heard that it's really good, and I've heard. Well, good night, Ram. I've heard that it's really good, and I've also heard that it has a bad depiction of neurodivergent people.
Yeah,
Because
I
heaven forbid
mean,
Hollywood handled
listen.
anything like that with any kind of grace.
hmm All the clips I've seen are, "Hey, listen, I've observed something," and then all the hospital staff says, "What? No, you're mentally impaired. That's not possible." He says, "Oh, but wait, I'm gonna obsess over it and rock around, and then I'll be right." And they're like, "Wow, he was
Technology
right
conceived.
again. Can't wait till next week when we forget all about how he's usually right when he finds something and obsesses over it." But that's every hospital show, so you know.
Ram,
Um,
Ram coming
Hospital
in with
shows
the
in
hot
general.
take that guys is a gender neutral option. I think like it really depends where you're from. Like
Technology
I know we
conceived.
all like throughout high school, guys was always used as like I always grew up using guys as just a plural for a collection of people regardless of gender. They're just hey guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I ever and I kind of do default to it still. But if someone ever said please don't call me that, I would respect it.
Yeah. You would, wouldn't you? You
Yeah, see, like
respectful little man.
Moth says I don't
Res-
mind, but not everything's gender neutral. So it's like I this it's kind of like my default word. But like if someone ever
yeah.
said please don't, I would just respect it. It doesn't take me too much not to use that word.
There are a lot of words that, like, depending on the context, become gender neutral for me. So, like, just saying, like, "Hey, man," that's to anyone. Any person can be a "Hey, man," even though man is undisputably male.
Hello Future Me has some great hot takes. Maybe I'll have to give that a look. There's a lot of hyper rich exploited hyper rich. Hollywood is completely and entirely hot. Yeah, Hollywood's terrible. I
Yeah.
we
True
aren't gonna
enough.
go down this rabbit hole. Daffy, pull out, pull up, steer. Do not rant.
Gender neutral insults for people not saying dude, like "Hey, dude," or "What's up,
Yeah,
dude."
that's fair. I will keep them. I don't usually default to dude. Personally, I usually say guys or just hey y'all. I say y'all. Y'all is my go-to
Gotta
collective
hand it to
plural
Ram.
pronoun.
Fart muffin is definitively a gender neutral insult.
I mean,
Listen, you
like
want to make fun of them, but you don't want to hurt. Oh, that's funny. Uh,
say mate's a good one. I usually just I y'all. Y'all's what I always say. Hey y'all, y'all's. It's like the way that it sounds. Turd blossom is an insult.
oh, that's right. One of my
See,
planets
I don't
over
like
here.
insults. I just like to like insults. Yeah, like you can keep your insults. The best thing to do is you just look at them and you go, "You disappoint me." Best insult ever. You've just won, hands down.
Let's see.
And that's definitely something that I do understand. Like when you're looking at it from the outside, it can be very intimidating. Like just like the vocabulary alone within the LGBT community for someone who isn't LGBT is um understandably daunting. Um but at the same time uh, just being respectful and being willing to listen is the best thing that you can do. If someone says, "Oh, I'm this," like respect that. That's the best thing that you can do, is just give them the respect and human decency. When you don't understand, just do the bare minimum to treat them like a person. It's not hard
Yeah.
to respect someone's respect pronouns, respect preferred terms. Just don't say things that offend people if they ask you to. Like, accidents happen, we're all learning, but yeah.
Okay,
There's this
Gray.
thing
I'm
is,
glad you said that because I want to be a murderer. So please support me in this.
we don't need to say that. That's a little bit too on the nose compared to like some people who've actually used that as
Yeah, no,
topical fire. I know you were making a joke, but I was just like, ew, I've heard people actually use that
yeah,
as like
but
legit
are those
reasoning.
people whose arguments anyone's going to give real credence? Come on.
No,
Yeah,
but it's still
it's ridiculous.
avoiding it. Like, they're being ridiculous, but it's still just avoiding it. My thing is, I saw this beautiful post. This has been mentioned, I think, a little bit, and I don't know. I know Ben knows. It's like, this isn't hidden. I'm ace. I identify as ace. Something that like I didn't realize till I was later. Asexual is another name for it. It's a whole thing. You can look it up. I don't need to go on another rant for it. It's something I don't mention a lot because it's personal. It's private. It doesn't really need to be brought up a lot. I don't hide it. It's part of who I am. I got my own little flag for it. But the thing is people are like they get so confused. It's like, I don't bring it up so many times because if I say it and then like people ask what is that, it's like a freaking 30-minute PowerPoint presentation just to be like, here's how we get the vocabulary you need to understand this. And I just don't have the bandwidth for that at times. It's like, just
Yeah.
Google, look it up. You can find out a lot about it. I'll teach you if I have the bandwidth. I'll talk about it, but it's a very deep rabbit hole of trying to explain things. That honesty explains a great deal? Yeah. Actually, I don't know if we've had that talk, Gray, but yeah. It's something that like I've always been that way, but only had a term for it recently. We just did right now. Oh. My favorite I'm terrible at communicating to friends moments would be when me and Gray hadn't talked for a very long time. Like a couple years. 'Cause we just got busy with our own things in life. And we were talking about it, and then Gray, oh, I had cancer. Yep, it's this one. It's this conversation right here. I was like, oh yeah, when I had cancer. And Gray was like, had. No, hold on. Had. Because not only had I never told him, I didn't tell him the entire time that I had it. Like, and I had, like, it was very, very low. I didn't have to go on any kind of harsh treatment. We caught it super, super incredibly early. It was, like, super, super mild. But Gray just, like, had been entirely left out of the loop. And the best part was, like, we didn't have, like, no contact during that time. It just never got brought up. And that's the difference between... Yeah, I did the same thing with Ram. I'm just terrible at communicating things. And, like, that is a good point. Like, if they're being rude to you, like, I do understand that. There is one thing that I do like to bring up when people say that. And it's not to excuse... Kind of like when yeah, we found out, okay, yeah. I'm very bad at communicating and updating people on things. We've been over this. I'm working on it.
True enough.
It's true enough. But like, the thing is if you say something, and I've personally never had someone be that rude, the way that Ram's explaining. The thing is for people who usually are short or rude, how do I explain this? There's not necessarily an excuse to be rude, but at the same time, coming from the fact that people are going to be a-holes, and anyone can be an a-hole. Anyone can be an a-hole.
Yeah.
I try to give them the benefit of the doubt when they are rude, because they have to assume that everyone's doing it intentionally, because they often face, and I would say for the majority of them, they often face continuous intentional discrimination. So for them, it's like they're going to assume the worst of you, and that is something on them. And if they're gonna be rude, that's on them. I always try to brush it off myself, because it's like, I don't know what they've been through, but I've seen a glimpse of what some of those people have been through, and it's like I couldn't imagine living with that constant just microaggressions and attacks for that. So it's like, yep, they were a jerk to me. I understand why. If they're going to continue being a jerk, I just don't deal with them at that point. If you're going to be rude to me, I'll just say, oh, sorry, thank you, bye. I just leave. I try not to get into arguments about that kind of stuff. It's just not worth that time and energy to me. If someone's going to be rude to me, I'll just leave. Oh, I unpaused, Ben. Did you need that paused?
No. I was distracted with my delicious matcha almond milk latte
You're
I'm
good.
drinking right
And I
now.
wasn't saying that you were gray. I was just saying that's kind of my personal take on it is no matter how rude they are, I just kind of like go with that. And Ram, I don't know why we're friends. I'm joking. We are friends because while you are a
Don't worry,
snarky,
Ram. We all
sarcastic,
ask that question often.
while you are a snarky, sarcastic a-hole, I also know that you secretly have a heart of gold, and I know that that's absolutely the worst insult I could have said on stream. But I know that deep down you're a good guy, and I know how much you hate that I'm saying that right now because you know it's true. Take offense.
Fart muffin.
Fart muffin. Offense taken. Good. You're gonna offend.
Oh yeah, and it needs it.
Your side yard.
telling
Your
you.
side yard. I haven't seen your side yard.
His new place looks very fantastic. It's a fixer-upper, but in a quaint from the was it the 50s Ram? Yeah, 50s, owned by a 90-year-old couple who did a lot of their own quaint little additions and innovations inside the house and outside. So it's interesting and it has history, but it's also definitely a little bit of a fixer-upper. It looks really neat. Good yard.
I like the sound of this place.
It's very cool.
So we've just potentially got a good chance that I finally found a rental out here. Which is a yay. Oh, speaking of which,
yeah.
that's a big yay. We're still figuring out a couple things, but it's good as long as nothing goes wrong. But it's like a 2-bed, 1-bath, and it's got all this just beautiful old woodwork.
Yeah.
Yes, Ram, we know you're financially successful. You can take your bourgeoisie self and go for a walk. Oh. That is very fair, Gray. And what I'm referring to a little bit more to clarify too, is I was very specifically referring to people who react rudely on... We gotta redistribute... Yes, we're gonna redistribute Ram's wealth. And great, that's a very good point. My comment is more, you're going to have two kinds of people. The people who are like, no, I'm this, or I'm this. Why are you always... Like, they're gonna be like a little bit frustrated. That's the one I'm talking about. You're going to have people of jerks, and I can get into exclusionary and like exclusionist rants all day about people who are jerks. Like, this is the thing. Like we're gonna have a little side tangent here, and then we're gonna focus on the game, because, but you know me, and I love my side tangents. Yeah, I am Ace. It's what it is. It's very, very minor. Ace is, if you look at the LGBTQIA+, it's the A. A can also stand for ally. I'm totally fine sharing the A with ally. But LGBTQIA, we are there. We are part of it. The thing is that there are a lot of people, particularly in the L and the G, and sometimes even the B, and occasionally even the T, who don't want us there. Like, vehemently don't want us there. And take great offense to us being there. And it's like, I was like scrolling through Facebook, and this one lady in a video said, "Oh no, I'm Ace," and that was the kind of thing. And like, "Oh, that was cool." Da da da. And there was a comment, and the comment was basically the equivalent of, "I think all Ace people should themselves because they are terrible." Like, just flat out hate speech against Ace people from a gay person. Just very poignant, very targeted, direct aphobic hate speech. Which, by the way, Facebook did not count as hate speech. when I flagged it and reported it. Thank you, Facebook. And the thing was, it's like out of anyone who should understand this and understand and have patience, it should be people who are part of that group. But a-holes can come from any group, no matter how marginalized your community is. It's always about checking your own, being the best that you can be. You know, checking your own privilege, checking your own situation, and doing what you can to help people who are less fortunate than you. That's the best you can do. And being aware and listening, because you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you should listen twice as much as you talk. I hate that phrase and I love that phrase. Posture check. Thank you for the posture check, Straw. Thank you, Gray. And hydrate. Oh. And another hydrate. And another stretch. Oh. I can do another posture check. And they're just gonna spam it. We can hit resume, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Damn it.
Huh?
I just got my mustache stuck in my water bottle, everyone. And I don't know how to fix it.
Yank.
Ouch. No.
No.
Okay, I'm free. I'm free. Okay. It's like a very tender nerve. Ah.
Well.
Oh, I don't know if this is like going to get me flagged. Someone asked me this. Cuz I do shave. Like I have a beard, but I do shave. I shave my cheeks, I shave my unibrow cuz yes, I have a unibrow. I'm freaking Polish. I'm hairy. But, yes, I shave with a straight razor because I'm extra like that. And a brush and shaving cream mixed up in the bowl. Have you seen how I dress? Anyway, he wasn't trying to brag about financial situation. No, and I 100% know that you weren't, Ram. I just had to make a bourgeoisie joke because bourgeoisie is the funnest word to say.
He's just razzing.
Second only to proletariat. Just because I freaking love those words. Borgy. Borgy horgy. You're over here still trying to grow facial hair. What you need to do is find yourself Polish ancestors.
What you need to do is get hair transplants for your face.
Okay, wait, you have a random fact. Random fact. What random fact should I go with? I saw a bunch of them earlier. I'm trying to remember what a good one is. Bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum. Bum ba-dum.
You have one pre-listed out?
Not necessarily. I usually just kind of go with like what one comes to mind. Like I usually have a couple thinking about, but then I try to get a random fact that the person who redeemed it probably doesn't know, or one that's like not just generally known to the chat, like I haven't done before. Okay. Have you heard, Ram, about the illegal Sardinian cheese?
Well, I'm interested, and I haven't heard this.
It's called Casu Marzua, I believe is the technical name for it. Have you heard of this cheese, Ram? And another hydrate. We won't shut my mustache in the water bottle this time.
Listen, you got mustaches.
And a
it's gonna
second
get
hydrate.
stuck in water.
We're making sure that I ain't thirsty today. But I may, so if I am I ever? Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway.
I get it.
You get it. Thank you, Ben. So
I am abreast the colloquialisms.
Greg gets it too. Family friendly, still British. There we go. And another hydrate. Okay. Might need to put that on a timer. Um. Anyway, so casu marzu. It is a cheese that is traditional to Sardinia. It is a cheese that is in the soft cheese family. It's a very fermented cheese. It actually goes beyond fermentation into breaking down into what would be probably better determined as decomposition. The way the cheese is made is much like any other cheese. It is a sheep's cheese, so you use sheep milk to make it, if I can say that. And the cheese is made, and then once the cheese is made, they intentionally introduce cheese fly larvae, or cheese fly maggots if you would, into the cheese to let them start to eat and break it down. Now, these larvae live in the cheese. They are alive, they are wiggly squiggly, and they just infest the cheese. They break it down, and so because of this, the cheese is more or less digested butter in consistency within the wax thing. It is illegal because
Wait, where is it illegal? And also, just a
in
clarifying
Europe,
question:
it is
where
from
is
Sardinia.
Sardonia?
Sardinia
Where
is
is
in
Sardinia?
Italy. This is in Italy.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
thing is if you do not eat and properly chew up the cheese fly larva and you swallow it, there is a chance it will survive your stomach acid. And the little guys can survive in your digestional tract pretty okay. They aren't like terrible. They aren't like a worm that eats people, which would be like terrible. They are, however, not something you want in your digestive tract as anything there is there. But yes, that is the illegal cheese.
I see why.
hmm
I
And there is a push
understand.
from Sardinia to get it counted as like a cultural cheese that they can serve. But yeah,
With warning.
with warning. Oh, and by the way, it is also considered tradition. If the larvae have died, that means that the cheese is no longer safe to eat, according to their traditions, because that means it has gone off long enough that not even the larva can eat it.
Mmm. How quaint.
So yep.
Have you heard of Taylor?
Also, the larva can jump 6 inches. So you can you put it on a sandwich and they will bail out of the sandwich. If you eat them, so if you were to chew up the larva and then they break down in the stomach, they're actually completely safe to eat. Just like mealworms, they are just an extra source of protein. The problem is if you eat them when they do not get either crushed from your teeth or they don't get killed in your stomach, they're bad to have in your digestive tract. They aren't necessarily directly dangerous, but they can be bad for.
Going to eat certain gut flora and fauna,
And just-
obstruct pathways,
yeah.
maybe try to burrow their way out one direction or another, something like that.
So they're just this general don't eat live larva type deal. I'm sorry that you've had to hear all of this, Moth. I honestly thought that you would be a little bit more behind this, given your whole insect thing, but yeah.
Listen, Taylor. I see where Moth is coming from. The idea of bugs is very neat and cool, and I love bugs, and they're cool and they're neat, and I like to hold them and look at them. But the idea of certain kinds of bugs wriggling around inside my intestines is a completely different matter. I like scooters. I don't like when they smash my shins. I like bugs. I don't like when they're burrowing through my flesh.
If not in food or inside you. Tragan. So the thing is I'm going to be honest. I would not... Oh, how do I put this? I have zero impulse control and very low standards. So if I was in Sardinia and someone was like, "Here, try this," and it was offered to me, I can't say no. I can't say with certainty that I would say no.
Listen, Taylor. As much as I'm abhorred by this idea, I'll say this much. I cannot with certainty say I would decline the offer because my disgust is countered by my desire for unique experience. I'll try it once. I won't enjoy it and I won't be happy about it. I might try it once though.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I've also eaten cooked mealworms and cooked crickets, and they taste fine. They're a good source of
Yeah, I don't
protein.
like the way their legs stick in your teeth, though. That's
Yeah,
I
like
find it very unpleasant. Also, I'll
I
say
also don't
this:
like popcorn for
crickets.
the same reason, though.
Yeah, but it feels different to me.
That's a
Also, I
very
have
fitting quote to have come up second there. You can try to eat anything at least once.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a quaint little. I'll say this: I have a big reason for not enjoying crickets. Aside from they're not part of a staple diet. Uh, which is I used to keep crickets for my lizards, and the combination of a cricket enclosure and the calcium sand that
Hmm.
I use with my lizards made for like a nauseating uh scent that just sticks with me to this day. It's like triggeringly nauseous. I hated that smell so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so here's the thing. I don't think that I would necessarily advocate to all of us eating. You can do quote one, quote two, quote three, quote four. By the way, I have eaten a scorpion. I didn't like the taste of scorpion. Scorpion and spider, when I've eaten them, have had a bit of an off taste to them. Crickets just kind of tasted like peanuts. You got to do space one. Um, but when it comes to insects, what I do like and what I do think is a great idea are things like cricket flour, where the crickets have been ground up and processed into a powder-like substance that can be used in baking and other prospects, which creates a just phenomenal source of basically protein powder. That usually doesn't have much of a flavor. And to
Yeah,
me, that is kind of like the middle ground of where we can get that from.
insects as a good source of uh, cons- con- consumable materials. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot with the all the milk crazes for the alternative milks. Maggot milk and roach milk are one of them, where they blend those up into a protein milk.
So, Ram, as far as doing Dark Souls again, tomorrow I do have a co-op stream with Drew from Minecraft. Saturday is the other one, but I might be free Sunday for some Dark Souls run. We'll have to
Hey,
see.
hey, Strawfire, you did just hear
You
maggot
did just
milk.
hear maggot milk, by the way.
It's a real thing. Somehow, someone approved. Hey,
Also,
Moth, I'm with you. Fly larvae terrify me for some reason. They're
mhm.
they're morbidly fascinating to stare at. I'd never want to put one anywhere near my mouth. I'd
Mhm.
never even want to touch one.
We work
Oh
early on
yeah.
Mondays. Maybe we'll have to see like what my schedule says. Maybe like probably tomorrow's gonna be a no go, but maybe like Saturday earlier in the day, I might have some free time, or I don't know. We'll have to see what my schedules are. But uh, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are like my three really, and Tuesday are kind of like my set in stone days. But Monday night, Sunday night are a little bit more flexible. We did a lot of Genshin this week because I really wanted Venti, and I still don't have Venti, but I did get Diluc.
Look.
Not to be confused with Diluc, otherwise known as Gray. You're bouncing too, Mr. Giggles. Bye, Mr. Giggles. Bye, Ram. I hope you have wonderful sleeps. Diluc. Gray gets it. Dillweed. Yeah, or Dillweed. We call him Dillweed. I had a
Who's
second
Dilly? Diluc?
Diluc. It's one of the characters in
Oh,
Genshin.
one of your waifus. Okay,
Yes, apparently.
all right.
I mean,
Listen,
I wouldn't
I
complain too much about Diluc. He's
hey,
a looker.
I'm just gonna clarify something real quick. If I start playing this Genshin Impact, I'm only going to refer to the summons, the gashas, as waifus. Even if it's not true, okay? All right. I'm just gonna clarify right
I'm
now. It doesn't matter what you say. They're all waifus, all of them. And I'm gonna
like
call it a waifu collection game. I don't care. I think it's very funny.
as long as you do not abdicate the term of waifu per gender, I guess I might be okay with that.
I never have.
Yeah, I know you never have. You probably called me your waifu.
Yeah,
I've called you my waifu.
absolutely.
Drew posted pictures of his cats. You're also off for the night. Well, good night, Sublime. Good to see you. One sec, I'm looking at cat pics. Which I'm assuming given most of my chats shared this between my Gray and Drew's Discord, we're probably all looking at it. Isn't Drew's? I need to get a link to Drew's Discord. Okay, we got. Nope. This actually kind of works. There's a kitty. Ramaranik is your husband. Oh, like literally? Like, are you like? Is this literally the person that I think it is? Is this Ram's wife? Because if it is, hello! Good to see you. It's been a long time. What? Hey! Awesome. Good to
Yo,
see
what's
you.
up? It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's Ram's better half. Not that we set the bar very high. I'm joking, Ram. I love you. We're gonna see more of Drew's kitty pictures. These aren't my cat. This is Drew's cat. Elmer's Drew. But I like them. It's like a little spaceman. You gotta warn someone before I burn them like that? What? What? No, you don't. You do not get after Moth for Lynx, Nightbot. Permit. A very sleepy Moth. Okay, you have permission to post the links. Did it not work? 1 second. Permit at what? Okay. At a very sleepy moth. You should have it now. Also, there we go. Oop, if I can spell. I misspelled your name at first. Oh, that's not me then. Okay. Dual Streamlabs, and then I'll put it in timeout after.
Yeah, you're going
Okay.
timeout, Streamlabs.
More picture of Drew's kitty. It's a kitty. Anyway, or you could go to the Discord and see the pictures yourself. I'm really happy. It was cool to see Sublime. Sublime? Was it Sublime? Did I just...
Sublime cruelty. Yeah.
Ah.
That's a day we'll have to remember in the future. We'll call out and include on inside jokes and razzes.
Yes. Also, for context, by the way, when I burned Ram like that, it was out of love. It was completely a joke. And if I ever burned Ram like that and it actually offended him, I would apologize. And I say this knowing very well that if he was in chat, the very first thing that he would say is, "I'm very offended," and then make a joke about needing to put a fence in.
Yeah. That's true enough.
That's why I love Ram.
Because he cooks me steaks.
He does cook you food. Ram doesn't cook me food. It's like I live halfway
Far
across the
away.
country or anything.
Lol.
Okay, Grey
Funny
Griffin
'cause
won.
It's true.
It's funny because it's true. The best humor is in truth. Timeout. We're gonna put Streamlabs in timeout for its earlier antics.
Reality is so absurd as to be the greatest joke in the world.
I don't know if that worked or not.
Yeah.
We can do this. Nope, it didn't time out. I don't know how to time out Streamlabs, but I did make it apologize. Are you still there, Moth? Did you get timed out by Streamlabs? I want to make sure that you didn't get timed out by Streamlabs, because I know Streamlabs is very very tricksy.
Tricksy little demon.
Tricksy little demon.
Tricksy little hobbitses. That iteration of the word isn't copyrighted, right? It's fine. Say that one.
The copyright police come bursting through the window of my place and drag me out the door.
You know, J.R.R. Tolkien, you're under arrest for using a very fun word that he likes. Get out of here. Go on. Get out of here. Take you to the depths of Karak Dune. Yeah. Man, it's been a while since I read The Fellowship. I think I might need to read it again.
They're good books. I enjoy Lord of the Rings.
I had the problem where I could read Hobbit, no problem. I'd bust that out in like 2 days, going through the Hobbit, love every minute of it. And I'd sit down to read The Fellowship. I'd get all the way through the first one, no problem, epic. Halfway through the second Towers, I don't know what it. I've never been able to read more than halfway through the Two Towers. Did I say second Towers?
You did say
Anyways,
Second Towers, but I was just gonna look past it.
I'm glad you decided to look past it because it's very funny and would have utterly destroyed my psyche if you pointed it out and razzed me for it. Uh, anyways, I've never been able to read more than halfway through, but the last time I tried reading was in like junior high, I think. I don't know what it is. Maybe just writing got kind of dry or something. But every time I've read, I've gotten to about halfway
So
through Two Towers and
Tolkien
dropped off.
is a very long-winded author. The Hobbit
Absolutely
is good.
is.
The Hobbit is
In
good
a,
because it's kind of like a small controlled dosage of it.
it's much more compact, yeah.
Um,
Or not compact. The story itself is much shorter.
However, he is nothing compared to Tad Williams.
Tad Williams, which one is Tad?
Dragonbone Trair, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn.
I don't think I've read those ones.
Tailchaser's Songs, another one of his books. They are like peak 90s fantasy novels.
Oh boy.
They're actually
Boy,
decent,
oh boy.
but the third book in that series holds one of the records for longest book ever written.
Really? How long?
In English.
Like 4,000 pages or something?
I can pull it up. Resume the game while I pull this up. Because I can actually kind of like multi-spy on it.
I'm trying to remember it's the longest book I've ever read. I feel like
Dragonbone
I've read something that's
Chair.
about 12.
I don't want to like throw out a stat for how
long.
long it was. It was 1200, but it was more like with word count. I guess what we're doing things. Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn
Also,
Trilogy.
font size might be different per page back in the day.
Yeah,
compared to
okay.
Modern books.
To Green Angel Tower is the third and final novel in Tad Williams' Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy. At over 520,000 words, it is one of the longest novels ever written. And
Just got a hot join request from Starlore. Sorry, Starlore. This is a private game that we're ignoring right now.
pretty much. It's a list of novels over 500,000 words, so over 500,000 words.
Ah.
Bump it
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Which is, it's like I'm gonna say probably like on the lower end of it, to be honest, but yeah, it definitely looks to be like on the lower end of it. Yeah. This one, I know the copy that I had about 12,000. It shows it as 1,083 on theirs. Which is, I think, it's counting as less than It by Stephen King. But doesn't have a word count with that one, just a page count. So I don't know. It's in the category of one of the longest books, really one of the longest fantasy novels written. And it is long. The man goes on like a page, like 2.5 page philosophical discussion about the origins of a cat as it walks in front of the protagonist's feet. He takes
Boy, oh
like half a
boy.
page to describe a man getting shot with an arrow.
That is both exciting and I'm already tired.
Like, I can't remember what it was. I was like reading it, and it was like, and the arrow whizzed through the air, making the sound similar to the lark of the certain meadow. It's brown, like the color of the wood, until it slowly pierced through between the links of the man's shell-made armor forged many years ago by the blacksmiths of da. It's like not quite that bad. Like, I'm definitely hyperbolating there or over-exaggerating. But the thing is if you can like get into the book, like to where you aren't reading, you're just like turning pages and
J-
absorbing.
yeah.
It's
Just
like
turning
freaking.
pages
It's
and
like
there's just the
reading a
flickering
movie.
images.
It's like reading a movie
Yeah.
because it's so in detail. But like the moment you take a step back, like getting into it is so hard. The first book in that series, I swear it was like page 300 when the point, what's it called? The point that leads to rising action.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first two,
The
300 pages of the first book are his life in the castle. Like just, and then I went through the castle, and then I saw a cat, and then I talked to the scullery maid, and then I went over here, and then I took tended to the horses. Like that's like the first half the book, and it's like a 600-page book for the first one. Like it's
look, you
good.
got
I enjoyed it. It's just it's such a slog. And I read that before I read Tolkien, which is why when I think I read Tolkien, I was like, okay, I like this. This is easy.
so you got that, and then you get Ursula K. Le Guin, who writes Wizard of Earthsea, also one of the most recognized fantasy book series of the 90s. And her whole things, none of them are more than like 200 pages, maybe. Everything is very vague and left up to interpretation, kind of, which is very good on its own. He says the magic incantation that makes this thing happen, and instead of going into detail about the magic incantation, she just describes how the setting and the scene changes a little bit. It's very good. I like the Earthsea.
I
Our friend Gestacorn ran a whole D&D campaign based on the Earthsea series. It lasted about 6 months of us playing like 1 to 3 sessions a week.
okay.
It was really good.
You know what I really want to write now?
Hmm.
I really want to write a fantasy book. But like make it art pizzy. And like just have the book be like the protagonist left on an adventure, defeated the antagonist, and returned a changed man. The end. Like that's the whole book. And publish it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they could call it an art piece. See how famous it does.
There you go.
Also, before I like diss on modern art too much, some of it's good, a lot of it's terrible in my opinion.
Yeah. The banana on the wall.
The banana on the wall is my favorite though, because the guy who taped the banana on the wall, I'm not really gonna count that. I'm like, okay. But the guy who ate the banana
Ate it.
on the wall as an art statement, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
But then the
Listen,
man
too.
who wrote like banana or art, no, he wrote something that was political, so I'm not gonna say it, in place of the banana and called it art. That's the true artist there. Was the third one who got involved on the bad art train.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I'll say about modern art.
Why didn't my bottle
Quaint
dump water on
ideas,
me?
sometimes it's insightful and cool, but more often than not, it's a way to dodge taxes, baby.
Oh, 100%. We're talking about like
That's
people buying modern art things.
Hey, look, this is art that I'm buying for charity, and for some reason that creates a loophole because my friend who appraised this 3 red lines at, modern art, this gotta be worth at least 3 million.
What?
At least.
The bourgeoisie
they-
do tax evasion? Never.
The people with millions and billions do more to keep those billions and billions than we do to keep our tens of maybe hundreds.
This is crazy talk. What you smoking?
And they use art as a platform to. Oh, what? How could they? It's not like they, defamed and blasphemed every other possible platform in which money could conceivably exchange hands in order to dodge taxes and make more money. Come on.
Also, I do want to chime in something real quick here. Pamphlets are lit for the sole reason that you get like some of those like legit abolitionist pamphlets from like the 1800s, like all men who hold their brothers in bondage apostates, written by Benjamin Lay. Those are some top-notch pamphlets of just calling people out, and I love them. Anyway,
I like pamphlets because it's easy to make it look like a tiny book. One page, small book. Very quaint.
and here's the thing. I have seen art that does really good commentary, and I really enjoy art. Art that is provoking, art that makes you feel things.
Yeah, modern art is way too broad of a category to say, you know.
I do think it is far too easy for someone to pretend to be insightful with the industry, though, than to actually be insightful.
Mm-hmm. Too many meta layers. Too much shiny surface to get distracted by. That's my artful insight into the art community.
Yeah. My favorite artists are usually the ones who are like, look, I made this drawing, I hope you like it. And then it's like a really good drawing. You're like, wow, it's amazing. Maybe it
I like
tells
the
a
ones
story.
that don't sign anything. They just throw it on the internet and disappear.
Yeah.
I like that. I enjoy that. Even if the art isn't good.
Here is something that I'm going to say. The moment that there's two counterpoints, and I'm going to make this. Artists should be compensated for their work. Completely. And we do underappreciate artists, and we do undercompensate artists. I do think that has a lot to do with us overappreciating random artists and underappreciating the rest of them. And just in the way society views things as a general. But there is a unique thing that I'm going to say, is that if you are trying to do good for a cause, you won't feel the urge to slap your name on it all the time.
Yeah, it's true enough.
And that might be an unpopular opinion, but that's my opinion. If you're like, I made this thought-provoking art piece about refugees coming to America for a better chance. My name is John
Astergill
McElroy.
presents the struggle of other the
struggle of other
disenfranchised,
people.
of whom I am not one.
I had to suffer for days on a rowboat as I looked at those poor refugees. I was hungry. I went 2 days without Mickey D's. I have no respect for those people because they are, and like the thing is, they can legit do good. They can legitimately be doing good and trying to help out things, but they themselves are fake. It's the same reason, like, when anytime a company does something that's, like, PR-y, I'm like, no, just go away. I don't care. You are doing this for PR and the hope that it boosts ad revenue. Burger King saying that women should belong in the kitchen on International Women's Day. Did you see that tweet?
I think so.
This International Women's Day, Burger King tweeted, "Women belong in the kitchen." And then they like,
yeah, I think I saw a bunch of memes about it.
They followed it with like this nuance. We're promoting scholarships, but I'm like, Burger King, I worked for you for a very short while, and you really just need to fire your PR person and start again.
They probably did.
They probably did.
I'm sure companies go through Twitter representation, who are Twitter PR
social
people,
media
like,
reps.
Got to be at least one a month. At the very minimum.
They probably didn't. Burger King is garbage. Burger King is actually garbage. But well, me and you have a very negative opinion of Burger King, Gray, so we might be a little bit harshly biased, to put it that way.
I ate the Impossible Burger or whatever from Burger King, and it gave me immense diarrhea.
It's coming out swinging strong with that one. There is a Burger King.
That's not
in a place that will not be said.
Vegan food. That's just that burger gave me. It ruined me. It wrecked me.
You had good Burger King. I've also had good Burger King. Does Gray, in particular, It was equal to a middling McDonald's. Like, fast food's never gonna be good. But Gray, do you object to me sharing the town of the Burger King we both mutually worked in?
I do.
You didn't work there, so your opinion's is unmatched on this one.
Yeah, but it's
Yep,
probably
that's
close
the
to my
one.
town.
Just
So
off the freeway. There is a Burger King in Spanish Fork, Utah, that both me and Gray had the privilege to work on. Privilege is very over-exaggerated. Don't eat there.
wait, is that the one that's connected with the gas station, or are there two in Spanish?
There might be two. It's the one just by the freeway and kind of like on your way, like if you're heading to Panda Express or Walmart.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different
Yeah,
one.
that place was like a freaking OSHA violation.
It's in Spain.
I got in there, and they were going to hire me as a line
Hey, I'm
manager.
there with you, Drew.
And I
The
came
Whoppers
in.
have that taste. Sorry.
I came in there, and they kind of said like I took over, and they put me as a line chef because they didn't have a lot of experience as anything else. So, like, we'll put you as a line chef, even though they told me that they were hiring me as a shift lead. And I said that's fine. I don't have experience, whatever. Then hired the shift lead, which is actually okay. I actually really liked the shift lead that I worked for, the one that they hired for me. He was actually a good person, and it paid okay, and they kind of taught me up, and a couple of things. And I like bent over backwards trying to get this place functional because it was understaffed. It didn't have the staff that we did have didn't really want to clean it very well. The place was disgusting, and like there was just constant little things. And then eventually, finally, I convinced them. I can't remember. Like I convinced them. Applied. We finally hired Gray to be the cleaning person, and I had to bail out. I feel bad for Greg because I got him a job and he wasn't there for very long, and they would get mad at me because I would try to deep clean with him, and get these things taken care of that they weren't doing. And they didn't really care. They just wanted to get basically food out the window, no matter how bad the place was. And the thing was, they threw a hissy fit over me having a beard. And I have a beard now. Like, I got length on this. Like, there's things. At the time, I had, like, that like, maybe half a centimeter long beard. Like, it was super, super trimmed down all the day. There wasn't any length to it. Just a good, well-trimmed beard. And I did have a beard. I did have a mustache and the full beard chin, but there wasn't a lot. And they told me twice it was fine. And then they switched out the management, and then they told me I had to shave it all off, and I quit. It was just like the straw that broke the back was, no, I'm not shaving off my beard. And I actually have not shaved my beard since then. This is about 2-3 years ago, and then I've just continued to grow it since then. That manager was terrible, yeah. The thing was, he told me I had to shave my beard off, but it wasn't that I had to shave my beard off. It's that I could only have as much facial hair as he did. He had a full goatee and chops to here. I would have just had to shave this little part of my face. I wasn't allowed to have the little bit of beard hair right here. That's what it was. Just this like little bit right here. I couldn't have it. It was too much.
Simply too much. Come on.
And I told them, and I'm like, look, I was told that this was fine. If you can find, I said, I was told this is fine multiple times. If you can find where in the employee handbook it says I can't have this, let me know. Because on the Burger King website, it's fine. It says that I can have this. And the thing is, too, employers really can't discriminate for beards. There's like a lot of a gray area. There are a lot of cultures who have beards for religious reasons. So having a policy where you have to shave beards often crosses into the line of religious discrimination. And so it's like a very touchy subject. And so Burger King doesn't have a policy against it. You are allowed to have a beard as long as it is well groomed. And I even offered to buy my own beard nets for them. But the thing is that they ended up pulling out, I think it was the employee handbook from 2001. Mind you, this was like 2017. It was like a 15-year-old employee handbook that they dug out and said, see right here, it says you can only have a mustache and chops, and we're willing to let you have a full goatee, so we're being generous. I was like,
Gross.
Hmm.
Those weird micromanaging hyperfixation on minor details. What really pissed me off about it really cheeses me off the way some people focus on that, and that's their primary focus instead of, hey, you are keeping this place running, aren't you? That's good enough,
Well, Gray,
you know.
I think Gray has it spot on. They were trying to get rid of the old guard. And I was someone from the old guard they weren't trying to get rid of because I did a good job. So for them, it was about the larger symbol. It was about me stepping in line and basically buckling under him. I would basically hand over my power and authority to the new manager and drag the rest of the crew in line type deal. It was like the thought behind it. The thing is, it's anyone who knows me. That's like, I'm not the person that's going to work with. I don't toe lines.
You gotta be much more subtle when you manipulate, Taylor. You gotta.
Like, the moment that I think I'm being manipulated, I'm going to do the opposite of what you want me to. I'm sorry. I'm that way. You can ask any
Gotta.
high school teacher I had and the struggles we had over homework.
Mm-hmm. You gotta finesse him. You can't
You
be
gotta finesse me.
You gotta finesse. You gotta be gentle.
You gotta
Be
manipulate me
quiet.
gently.
You gotta lead him with something you want. Say cinnamon rolls at the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Don't tell him to run. Show him cinnamon rolls, and he will run for you.
Are we gonna share the cinnamon roll story now?
It
It's
goes
been
like
mentioned.
this. Taylor has a build that is a football center. If you know what that is, he's a football center. That is his build, and that's what it is. So that's what he was. Centers do not run. They don't need to. So it wasn't really enforced. No one expected it from him, and no one ever really saw it until one day after a long day of practice. We're on one side of the field getting water, getting a pep talk, and one of the other players' moms brought over a big tray of cinnamon rolls on the other side of the field, which was probably a good quarter mile field, something like that.
About a quarter mile
Not sure.
field.
Quarter mile field, something like that. On the other side of the field, they were starting to walk across the field, bringing it over, and the coach said, "All right, guys, there's a little treat for you on the other side of the," and everyone turned around and started, like running as a group, like woohoo, yeah! And through the group, who is that charging, widening the gap?
I outran our running back. The guy whose
Outran
job it is to run. I outran him.
the
Because cinnamon
entire
rolls.
team of the entire team of teenage boys looking for a sugary snack after a long practice. Everyone's outrun. I finally show up, get my cinnamon roll, walk over to Taylor. He's like, eating his cinnamon roll, like exhausted, red in the face. The only thing he
It's
said
worth
to me
it.
was like, "I think I pulled something in my leg." It was peak,
So the thing is,
epic.
if I ever really need to run,
Oh, you
I-
can book it.
my legs. Yeah, Grace is going about the manager. That manager was terrible. I am like a 250, 300-pound guy. I have strong legs. And the thing about moving, yeah, this game is always thoroughly derailed. This is the derailless. I don't know what to call it. Just like, but once I start running, like it's the law of inertia. It takes a lot to get me going,
yeah.
but once I get going and I just start pumping
go.
my legs, I'm a freaking freight train at 300 pounds that ain't stopping, and it just is going to run. Falls hurt a lot more too, though.
I wouldn't know. I'm light as a feather. I
Yeah,
fall and I
Ben-
float. I drift
A
back and forth like
A strong
piece of
breeze
paper.
comes by, and I have to grab Ben and pull him back down to the ground before he kites away.
It's true. It's a real fact.
Twig boy, he is Twig boy. What
Young
was it?
Twig
What
boy.
would we used to say? Was it Twig and Twonk?
Yeah, Twig and Twunk.
Twig and Twonk. Twig and Twonk. That was our names.
I believe so, something like that. It might have also just been straight up Trunk. Twig and Trunk. I
Twig
don't
and
remember.
Trunk. Could have been Twig and Trunk. Could have been
I
that.
don't know. We had a couple nicknames that went along those lines.
We need to do when I come back out to Utah. We should try to get a twink.
Hell yeah, Moth, you know what I said, baby. Yeah.
We should get a picture of me and you when I go out to Utah, so people can really appreciate the height difference, because it's been
Eh,
consistent.
yeah, it has been. I bet we could find some old like football team photos.
Probably could.
We'd be kneeling probably. I know I got some pictures of us. I think they're just selfies. But yeah, back in like high school and stuff. I think we were at someone's wedding. I got a few selfies of us, a few things.
It's a few things. I think I've
I don't
posted.
think
Have I posted? Did I post like the? I have a picture when we were at. So hard to not say people's names.
Is it okay to say people's like first names and not give last names? Is that like generic enough?
I prefer just to have like a nickname for them if possible. Just because like it's gonna depend. Like a lot of people are gonna be like okay with the first name, but not everyone is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to find the exception to
I
the rule.
understand.
But
Yeah,
just call
exactly.
everyone Cody. But then what about the person I know that's actually named Cody? I know like
They
three
were
Codys.
they were a jerk and I hated them, so we don't ever need to bring them up. It's fine.
He's not actually referring to the Cody, by the way. Because that Cody
No,
might
no,
actually
that
watch
was
my
a joke,
streams on
but
occasion. Anyway, but
see, I don't even know which Cody you could possibly
I
be
don't
referring
think
to
you
there.
did.
That's not even
But
sarcasm. I'm not sure. I can only think of one Cody I know right now.
no. So we were at the wedding of my wife's friend, and
Did it name start with an E? Husband
yes,
start with an S?
yes,
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
ENS. We can do first letters.
Yeah.
ENS.
We
ENS's
know
wedding.
each other's circles well enough that we probably get it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at ENS's wedding, and I have a lot of pictures in that. And it is a picture of like me not getting to wear a vest. I was just in suspenders, so I got like peak round boy gut overhang and like full mutton
Yeah.
chops, because it was well before. It was like during my ska days when I didn't actually listen to ska, but I looked like I did.
Yeah. Those were days, weren't they?
Yeah, well, I had like chops. I was
Man.
proud of my chops in high school, but my chops were only okay, and then I actually had chops.
They were high school chops. They were good high school chops.
I probably had the best chops in the high school. Like I ain't gonna deny that.
Yeah, no.
Ba-ba-bum.
There's- yeah.
Am I gonna find a picture of this and post it on my Discord? You bet your bottom dollar I am.
We posting pictures of us?
I'm gonna post if I can find the picture I'm thinking of really quick, which I know where it would be. So I'm just gonna check real quick if it's there. We got another quote. Apparently, back in my ska days, when I looked like I listened to ska, but I didn't. That's a good quote. I do listen to ska. I am going to say that. I do listen to ska.
Just found
I
a
am.
selfie of me and your dad.
My dad made an unintentional appearance on the stream the other day.
Oh, nice.
Voice only.
Aw,
But
okay.
we did
How's-
ESO I was doing ESO with my wife. Speaking of which, Gray, Ben, we need to do ESO streaming sometimes. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
If y'all still have it.
Yeah.
Do like a
no, I
dungeon.
got rid of it.
Okay, I'm gonna make you remove that quote because I actually do listen to ska. Real Big Fish, Goldfinger, the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones. Goldfinger's like iffy because a lot of Goldfinger stuff moved into punk, but like some of their old stuff was very much ska. They even made an appearance in the music video "Sell Out" by Real Big Fish. Why am I? You just removed quote back in my ska days. Quote 6 is the. We've broken this. 1 second. I was talking about my dad. Yes, but I was playing ESO with my wife yesterday, and my dad like he walked up and he could see my baby girl, my 1-year-old, and he was like, "Do you want to do the head boop? We're gonna do the head boop." And you could just hear him playing with her in the background a little bit. It's like super wholesome.
That's very adorable.
My dad's a good guy. If I ever say anything about my dad, and it's like, like, and it is like my dad is a good guy. My dad raised me good, and I do love him and respect my dad. Like we don't always agree on everything, but my dad's a good guy. Otherwise, me and my mom basically agree on everything. My mom's freaking awesome. My mom was known
Oh,
as Mama by
distracted.
most of the band class.
Yeah, I call her mom.
Yeah.
I still call her mom.
Mama David. Yeah, Mama David. Which is what we will say because otherwise we will dox myself. We said Mama last name, but Mama David works. Mama David was so there's this thing in Utah. This like explains up my mom in a nutshell. We went to San Francisco band tour, and there's a thing in Utah about not drinking tea. Most people in Utah are LDS, they don't drink tea. And we went to a authentic Chinese restaurant where they served green tea. And my mom was one of the chaperones, and there were so many kids who wanted to try it. And my mom was just like, I don't care. I'm not going to tell your parents. It's a cultural experience. Learn a little bit about culture. Just try the tea. You don't have to fully drink it, but just try it to learn something about other cultures. She just like went up, and I'm like, everyone's like, Mama David's like kind of intense and kind of free reiny. And then there was another kid who wanted to buy a sword, but he was too young to buy a sword. So my mom might have bought the sword. He gave the money to my mom to buy him a sword. And we kind of like slightly smuggled it on the band bus. My mom, I get any of my rebel nature, I get from my mother. I'm just going to point that out right now.
She a bit of a rebel.
She's a bit of a rebel. She grew up
She's a
like
little punk rock.
She's punk rock. She was punk rock before punk rock. Your mom bought my mom bought Greya Sword. Yeah. My mom was punk rock before punk rock. She called it alternative, but she was punk rock. My mom was in Greenpeace in California. Growing up, listening to what is it? It's not Death Cab. I always think it's Death Cab though. Grateful Dead? Grateful Dead and 9 Inch Nails. That's my mother. Now she's an
Nice.
accountant. Not Death Cab for Cutie though. I think it was Grateful Dead. When she met my dad, she was engaged to like the stereotypical 1980s long-haired metalhead.
Yeah.
Like long black hair and everything. Also, to credit to my father is also a bit of a metalhead. I was raised on Metallica, Queen, and country music. Because I'm in Utah and everyone listens to country music.
I was raised on Pink Floyd.
And the Beatles.
Yeah, Pink Floyd and Beatles are probably two only bands that existed.
I know Beatles because of you.
Yeah, you could say I'm a bit of a influencer with old bands.
You're
But
a
everyone already knows
Beatles
about.
connoisseur.
Yeah. So a lot of
Permission to crop a photo with both me and you in it from ENS's wedding.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, these bow ties. I think these pictures I have might be from your wedding.
They could be.
Yeah, we're wearing those starry bow ties. Unless did Faye make those? Oh wait, no. We didn't have those starry ones for your wedding. Those were for ENS's wedding, weren't they? Was that the
I think
theme?
that was ENS. Am I wearing a vest?
It doesn't look like it.
Then it's not my wedding.
No, I don't think it is your wedding. No. We're inside here. I remember now. I made a false connection because I remembered that your wife made the bow ties. And I thought, oh yeah, for their wedding. No, that was a theme at ENS's wedding.
Also, Gray and Ram are technically in this photo, but they are being cropped out because I don't think either of them have their face exposed. And I don't necessarily want to be the one to like expose them. It's gonna be a bad. Oh, Ram has face cam? Ah. You don't? Okay. Actually, out of curiosity, is that out of personal preference or because you don't have a camera? If you don't mind asking.
Here, I'm gonna send you these selfies and let you decide if you want to
It's more
post
of a
them or
branding
not.
thing. Okay. Can I have a really weird ask? Permission to leave your arm cropped in this photo just because it's your arm. Just your arm. I will crop it out otherwise. But I just kind of noticed it. No? Okay, I'll crop out the arm. Okay, I cropped out the arm. I'm cropping out the arm. No, go and keep it? Okay. Okay. I know what you were doing. I was mostly just responding that way because that's me. Okay. So, you can share these photos. They are very terrible photos of me.
Yeah, add me. They're
Yeah,
they're
they are
they're
they are
not
peak
good.
photos. These are peak photos.
They are
Um,
peak, not good.
I'm now sharing a photo that is cropped. This is me and the Ben and Gray's arm. Shared to show and tell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, baby.
So that has been shared to show and tell. I'll probably like drop a Discord command in here. You will eventually do an actual face reveal, but I got some plans for all that before it happens. Of course. Of course. I know I have many streamers that I know that are just straight up VTubers. I know other streamers who have their videos. I don't judge whatever you do. You do what you wanna do, boo. That is how old's that photo? I just said shared?
Uh, let's see. 2014. At least 7 years now. 7 or 8 years now, I think. Has to have been around like 2013
Pri-
or 14.
prior to the first of my offspring.
Yeah. Taylor, we're so beautiful.
We are beautiful.
Oh,
We're the most
the
beautiful
glories
people.
of youth.
This is many youth. Much youth. Much class.
What wee little babes.
I look like I'm about to yell. I don't know what's going on in that photo. That photo is like pure bad chaos.
Yeah. I look dead faced.
You do look
As
a little dead
usual.
faced.
I have a resting dead face. It wasn't until after high school I started making the conscious effort to lift my eyebrows and have my eyes fully open when interacting with people.
When you move from resting dead face to just RBF,
Yeah.
you gotta like really purse your lips to get good RBF. Just like
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
I'm like scrolling through memory lane of like really old random pics now.
Yeah, that's how I started off right before we were in the stream.
I'm
Looking
just
at old project folders of old photoshops and music bits we did, bits and blips. programs and games we were playing, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Back in ye old high school days.
Both of those will require an actual camera, so when it comes, I have resources to do it. Oh, there you go. Well, webcams, that's what you gotta like. I actually plan to get myself a proper webcam too, because right now it's just my little laptop one. It can make me disappear. My little laptop webcam, and it works. By the way, who still is sticking around? Who is still sticking around through our 2 hours of memory lane the stream has basically been? I mean, obviously we still got great, but I got 8 viewers, and like I really appreciate all of y'all. But like we've just been like strolling down memory lane, and we have done very little actually playing. So Drew's not here. We've confirmed that Drew's not here. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. By the way, not you. Oh, you mean you are here? Okay. Streamer, not the game. That's true. That's a very true point, Gray. I still don't know why they're here, but I'll take it. I got Ben with me. That's why. I brought my talent.
Ah, yes, I am clearly the talent. It's my face they come for.
My window is open. Someone is very angrily honking. They like me? Why did they do that?
They are uninformed.
That's why you're up
Oh.
at 12.
I'm just kidding. You know why I like you, Taylor? Take a guess.
I don't know. I was gonna make a joke about like bribing you, but like let's be real here. You were like practically my sugar daddy at this point with the amount of games that you have bought me.
Yeah, well, you know, why would I do that though? Think about it. It's because of RuneScape. You played RuneScape.
Oh, it's because of
with me.
RuneScape. That's why I
Played
played
RuneScape with me over a decade ago, so you know.
I
it's
played
a-
RuneScape with you
an
and no one else
unbreakable
would.
bond, if you think about it. Funny.
I found the
Funny.
photo of everyone sitting on me, and you know
There's
exactly which
gotta
one I'm
be-
talking of.
No, I don't, because there's gotta be many of those. Come on.
Didn't I bind him using Arcane Ritual and Ancient Blood Pact? We don't talk about that.
No, that was you, Gray. Did you forget? Yeah, now you remember. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I got some like really cringy high school pictures here. Why did I go down memory lane? This one's not going to get posted anywhere because it is bad, but I'm going to share this temporarily to the stream. It's bad because like I just have like the worst unkept mutton chops hair and like wannabe mustache.
You're just holding
Like-
it up to the.
Yeah, I'm just holding
the
up to the
screen?
camera so it can be like
Like
saved
this
on the
stream.
VOD. We got flour in the hair, dramatically looking off to the side.
Sounds familiar. Looking forward to it.
Oh. You assume everyone keeps long-term relationships. How much of a delay is your stream running?
You just now turned your photo towards me. Just
Wow.
a second. It is
Wow.
very delayed.
Well, for what it's worth,
Beautiful.
I still have a straight razor with me. Haha! That actually
I
isn't
haven't
going
seen
to
the
cut
straight
me.
razor yet or anything. You're just making sounds for me.
There's actually not a blade in this right now. It's just
Oh, okay, right.
it's just the holder. That's why I was like able to do this without any issue.
Should I close the stream and re-enter?
Oh, no, you don't
catch
need
up
to.
a little bit?
Not like it affects much.
If nothing else, it seems like I'm still caught up with the chat.
Yeah, the chat's always live. So the chat's always instantaneous. There's just like as it kind of tries to buffer and keep the stream loading, there's like a slow delay. I think of it like for every second that passes in our world, like 9.95 of a second passes on stream. So it's just going slightly slower. And over
Mhm.
time that eventually adds up. We
So,
also
like,
got
new-
Flax. Clicky
Boy,
clacks.
oh boy.
Any good rolls? I got a
Rolls?
46. I got a 5. I got a 3. They're all terrible rolls. They're all terrible rolls. My math rocks have failed me. Actually, the 46 isn't bad. They weren't bad rolls. They're just all mediocre. Let's see if the other math rocks do me better. The other math rocks scattered a little bit more than I thought they would. I'm trying to rein them all in. And all of these dice are bad too.
That's just sad. How are you not better at rolling dice by now? Come on.
I don't know. You guys shouldn't complain. It's like the good thing. You want the GM to have the bad dice. That's what keeps the party alive.
No, that's not true. Everyone must have maximum rolls. A monster isn't threatening unless it one-hit KOs me.
Wormwood. Nope, this isn't Wormwood. Eldenwood Academy. Got the Bard Harp. 'Cause I love it. My fancy gamer blink. We should like resume the game eventually.
I was just thinking, what if I just hit play and let it run, see how long it takes
I mean,
instead of
you
just
keep-
going again.
You're the one who's been pausing it, I will say. I'd probably just like let
Well,
consequences
no.
be.
What? No. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true. You're right.
I'm right.
Hey, remember a long time
I'm
ago we were
right.
talking about eating bugs?
Yes.
Our
I had a second
You ever
half
heard
to that
of,
fact that I never shared because no one liked the worm portion of it.
Yeah, that's probably fair if you think about it. If you think about it, probably fair. But here's, in my opinion, something a little more palatable and something I'm a little more directly interested in seeking out to try. There's a kind of bee that instead of getting its sustenance and such from flowers and plants and nectar, gets it from carrion. I think they might be called carrion bees, and they make honey out of it. It's called corpse honey.
Okay.
So that's one thing I do want to try. I am very fascinated about what honey made out of roadkill would taste like.
Is it sad that I am too?
No, I think it's a natural, morbid fascination that I don't know, probably not everyone has, but it's certainly something I have, and I would not. There's no judgment for someone else wanting to try the forbidden corpse honey.
I kind of want to try the forbidden corpse honey.
I kind of want to try the corpse honey.
Moth couldn't.
Hey, listen, I also absolutely understand that it's a roadkill byproduct.
Okay. So, here's another. Do you like cheese, Moth? Not obviously excluding the abhorrent abomination earlierly discussed.
Sir, do you like mainstream
Very much.
cheese?
Okay. There is a cheese that I'm actually particularly interested in trying, with
Head
a kind of
cheese?
similar process, but one that doesn't necessarily entail eating the insects involved. What it is it's a cheese. It's a German cheese. It's made out of usually what's called a quark cheese, which is a bit of a soft cheese. And then the cheese is basically put in a wooden box with what are called cheese mites that then kind of eat and nibble at the rind, which kind of changes the flavor of the cheese. While some people do then eat the bemited rind, as it were, the inner part of that cheese doesn't technically have mites in it, but is apparently really, really good. and I'm actually like vaguely interested in trying that one. Like I don't think I could. I probably would honestly eat part of the rind with the mites in it, just because I have weird compulsions. But like, would you eat the cheese portion that didn't have the mites? Moth leaves chat. That takes it as an answer. What about you?
Yeah.
You would?
I think I'd
Elmer's-
try it.
I would definitely try the inner cheese part without hesitation. The rind would probably be kind of like similar to the Kasamazu, where I'd be like, if someone offered it to me in a dish, and I would be like, okay, I'll try it.
I'll try it with reservations, you know.
Quote, you can try to eat anything at least once. Fitting quote. Anyway. Now that we've had all of our insect-based cheese facts,
We can move on to other sorts of cheeses. Have you heard of head cheese?
no.
Oh, okay, all right. See,
No.
that's one that I'm not actually tempted to
No,
sample.
family friendly.
Oh no, Taylor. That's
No,
not what I'm referring to.
you aren't
I'm
referring
glad
to-
you took it that way though.
No, I don't know what you are referring to, but we are steering the ship away from this.
It's
We
okay.
are blocking the canal.
Listen, Taylor, I feel like I need to correct you because it's an English cheese, all right?
Okay, what are you referring to then?
Head
'Cause
cheese?
I've only
Is
ever
it-
heard this referred to in one context, and it is not an
Yeah.
English cheese.
Okay, all right. I know. Listen, it's not that. I cannot stress how much it isn't that. No, it's just hog brains suspended in gelatin, and then
Oh,
called cheese.
Naturally, because it's England.
Yeah.
Okay.
That boss brings up another good point. It's not technically called head cheese, but I mean, what would you know about that?
We aren't going to get into this conversation on a family-friendly
Lol.
stream.
Taylor, we need to
And
do an
I have-
after-hours
I have
stream.
heard that specific term used to refer to it. Like literally those words
Taylor,
used to refer to it.
Taylor, we need to do something where we do an after-hours stream, a late-night stream or something, where we could lose the family-friendly tag. Cause, man,
Maybe we'll do like a private Discord stream or like a non-VODed one.
Yeah. Cause like, boy, it'd be great to talk open to explore these wonderful subjects.
Just we'll put the Daffy's After Dark stream somewhere on the potential future. Okay. Anyway, the thing is, like, regardless of what it's been called, I assumed it was that, and both of you immediately know why, so we can at least all be on the same page.
Listen, Taylor, I know why you leapt to that conclusion. I know why. I would have too
I know
if I
you
didn't
know why.
that there was an actual British food called head cheese.
Must refrain.
Oh
Oh.
boy.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. There's not a way to turn the VOD off, otherwise we would discuss this, but there's a VOD, so we are going to refrain. You just cannot.
Share the joke in is there like a channel somewhere
I
on the Discord?
I don't have an NSFW channel.
And the title NSFW seems to invite certain things
Yeah.
that's not exactly it. Just mean we wouldn't want young children looking at this, but we also don't want straight up, you know.
Moth never wants to type it because it's so gross. That's fair. That's fair. Let's just move on from poor hygiene standards into a brighter future.
What, we don't want to go on a little
Nope.
chat about the effect that Kellogg's had on
on the history.
on men's health. quote unquote.
Oh, Kellogg's.
Uh,
Kellogg's, you. That's not a rant that I need to go on this stream. I have opinions about what Kellogg's did to America, and we'll just say that my
listen,
family is English. My family is from England, and we can leave it there.
hey,
We are
I'll
very
say something and
proud
leave it
English
there.
heathens.
I also have opinions, and I bear the scars of the effects that
You bear the scars
Kellogg's
of
left on
the
the,
effect of Kellogg's leaving on society.
and we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. My family avoided the scars of Kellogg's and believes in giving infants rights to things. Anyway.
Anyways,
America has
yeah,
some weird policies. Well, just anyways, we need to move past. We need to get this ship sailing. We need to go around Cape Cod. We need to redirect. Okay. Woo.
anyways,
The Suez Canal horror movie starring Nick Cage. I gotcha. I really want to watch a Suez Canal horror movie. It's like a bunch of
oh,
dramatic music pan shots to like people sitting in office buildings going, "No, the profit margin. How are we going to survive?"
wait, and that would Nick Cage be the brave captain who steered the boat,
Yes.
or would he be the shipping exec who has to deal with the windfall and at
Both.
first
What?
is against the captain,
Both.
but then gets brought on board?
Just both. He's a multifaceted, talented man. He'd be both.
You know, it's weird. The the reason I said Nick Cage. Did you say Nick Cage?
I said Nick
For
Cage.
whatever reason. Okay, all right. I was like, where did I get Nick Cage from? Because at first I thought I read it in the comment that Moth made. I can't wait for the Suez Canal horror movie.
And then I said
It's-
starring Nick Cage.
There we go. Okay, I had a brain fart moment. Good point, Gray. Good point. He could be both. A slight change of glasses would be all it takes to facilitate his transformations.
No, is Nick Cage so? You know how we talk about actors who are terrible in real life? Nick Cage, is he a good one or a bad one?
I've never heard anything bad about him. Only good support of his wildly off the rails child is the only thing I've heard so far as character redeeming details about Nick Cage.
I know.
And by wildly off the rails, I just mean you see pictures of them standing next to each other, like, wow, nice.
So
epic.
I have his life to the fullest. I have heard one unsubstantiated claim from a family member who lived in LA and drove a taxi service
Our construction
that they
is
had
complete.
an experience with him being a bit of a jerk.
Oh,
And
really? Did you hear?
what was that?
Just something happened.
I'm here.
Did someone try popping into the chat, or did you disappear and reappear?
I'm still here. Maybe you had maybe there was an internet drop. Yeah, I'm only
Might have
seeing
been.
me and you.
I don't know that. Anyways,
And
everything
also-
seems to still be working.
Yeah. I mean, I just generally assume any male in Hollywood usually is going to have some kind of baggage at this point. Let's be real. But it could have also been a bad day. Like actors are also one of the things. Like they're constantly dealing with the public's attention, so sometimes they can be short. Yeah. I'd have to look that up. I don't want to slander someone without knowing, especially famous people, because then you get people who are like, I strongly disagree with the die-hard
Our
defending
construction is complete.
of famous people. Like, how do I explain this? If a famous person does something wrong, I understand why there would be hesitation to let go of them, especially if you liked their work. But they need to be held to a good standard regardless of whether or not they're famous. And I don't like to slander people because Hollywood gets messy.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, if they've been doing crap they shouldn't. I just try to, I guess, make sure to handle it appropriately as much as you can. It's not an easy thing to always do, especially when you really look up to people. But just be a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, and you get very, very good at condemning people. A random fact from Moth. Okay. Let's see. I got one. Are you familiar with where Celtic culture originates?
Technology.
As in, like, if we traced it back all the way to its roots, are you familiar with where it comes from?
Pangea.
Celtland.
Think about it.
I'm going to take that all as a no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the ancient Celts, and we're just going to call them Celts for simplicity's sake, actually trace their way back. A lot of people think that they are the native inhabitants of the British Isles. They aren't, actually. The Celts, as a culture, trace their way back, I believe it's all the way to the Hellevis. I mispronounced this name. Hellevis, or whatever it's called. It's an even earlier culture that actually originates in South Germany. And from South Germany, this culture grew and spread, taking over most of the area that we would consider Germany, Poland. They actually had culture all the way into Turkey, what was now modern-day Turkey. They had most of all of France, into Spain, and most of the British Isles at their height. They aren't an empire. This isn't a massive spanned Roman Empire where everyone's working together. It was a cultural group that originated in South Germany and spread through, again, all of France, Spain, Germany, into Poland, all the way down into Turkey, parts of Turkey, and almost to the British Isles. And this is all around the same time as the Roman Empire, who called them the Celts. This is where the term comes from, is the Roman Empire, calling them Celts, which is, I think, stolen from the Greek word, because they did go out there. And it's actually through the conquest of Rome, as Rome spread and started taking over France and Spain, that the Celts actually got pushed farther and farther and farther north. And then you have other Germanic tribes, and particularly I think they're called the Visigoths, coming in, and they push them out through Germany and push the Celts into what is the British Isles. There were people on the British Isles before the Celts. We really don't know anything about them. But so the Celts got kind of pushed from all of mainland Europe into the British Isles and kind of pushed further and further back. Because of this, there is still predominant cultural Celtic identity in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, obviously. Most people also know of the Isle of Man and Cornwall, which are kind of the parts in the British Isles that when everything was said and done, those were the core parts of Celtic culture that survived everything and kind of getting pushed back further and further and further. But there are also concentrations of Celts in what is called Brittany, France, and there is a natural part of the Celtic language there. They are considered one of the Celtic nations, and do have some of their own unique cuisine compared to French, as well as what is referred to as Galicia and Astyria in northern Spain, which are kind of like the areas of the last holdout of Celtic culture, as the Romans and other Germanic tribes, well, not other Germanic, because Celts aren't Germanic, the Germanic tribes, etc., kind of pushed all of them out of mainland Europe. Yep. The Celts aren't native to the British Isles, they are native to Germany, or Polandish area. And that's where the culture is originally from. And they practiced a lot of animalistic shamanism type stuff, and they also had their own pantheon system, which was very similar to the Greeks and the Romans. Kind of like everyone kind of had that to some degree. It's like, what's this god? And then it's like, we call it this, but it's basically just Mercury. Or Hermes. It's just that guy. We just changed his name. But yeah. You also get some amazing Celtic people, like Bodikia. Have you ever heard of Bodikia, Moth? It's like additional...
It's pronounced Boadicea.
Bodikia! Celts always say a hard C.
Huh. I didn't know that.
The soft
How
C
quaint.
is Roman. Hence why it's Celtic, Boston Celtics. Staring at you, Boston. It's the Celtics. You can name your team what you want, but it doesn't change the pronunciation. Anyway. Boudicca is a famous Celtic queen who was there when the Romans took over England. Kind of in the area of, kind of like, I don't know where in England, but in England, not like Wales or Cornwall. The Romans came in, they murdered her husband and like sons as they do, and then, did the whole entire ancient Roman thing to women thing that they did, and kind of like tossed her aside, and she was fuming and pissed and led one of like the single most successful counter campaigns against the Roman Empire, to the point that she like full on ransacked and took over London, which was like their main base of operations. She's like insane. You want to like look up like pure wrath of an ancient woman, Boudicca. I mean, she's not like, Saint Helga, who absolutely destroyed the city after they killed her husband. Another powerful woman of power that basically went in, ransacked the city, and then like forced the city to have peace with her. This is like entirely. This is not a Celt. This is I think they were like Viking Germanic types descent. But she forced the citizens to give her birds. She said, "We'll spare your city if you give us birds." So all the people gave her the birds, like pigeons and whatnot. And then she strapped flaming parts to the birds and let them go. So all the birds flew back home and burned down the city. She did not mess
Nice.
around. And she's a saint, which is somehow just fitting, given... Anyway, not going to go down that rabbit hole. Also,
Nice.
St. Patrick. We are going to go down a little bit. When you hear about St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland, there were no snakes
There
in
were a lot of
Ireland.
snakes in Ireland.
There were no snakes in Ireland.
What are you talking about? It's a perfect environment wherein snakes grow, spring naturally from the earth. Come on.
Snakes are used in Christian symbolism to represent any kind of advocate or devil. The snakes that St. Patrick drove out of Ireland were the Druids and the pagan priests. So when you hear St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland, he definitely did. It's just they weren't snakes, they were people. Because the Crusades weren't just in the Middle East, they were kind of anywhere that wasn't Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true enough.
Also, St. Patrick wasn't Irish, he was Welsh.
Just hung out in Ireland. Just pretty. Nice hills.
He just went to Ireland and said, I'm going to convert the heathens. As you do.
As is often the case.
There's some random facts for you. Oh, Constantinople. Can I random fact about the First Crusade? Are you still there, Moth? I don't know if Moth's still there. Moth redeemed a random fact and it sent me down a rabbit hole of information. Well, I'm going to go down this rabbit hole anyway. The First Crusade is my favorite mess-up point of human history. It is like... Hello? Can you hear me? Hi. Is she back?
Oh, she's still here. Oh, very good.
Did you not catch the random fact? I can like start over.
Oh, please no.
Is she back? I don't know if you're back or not. Anyway, tangent. You did catch the random fact? Okay. For the most part, gonna hop off for the night. Of course. Goodbye, Gray. Goodbye. I love you, buddy.
Yeah,
Have a good
you
night.
too, Gray. Good night.
Okay. Tangential continuation of the absolute mess that was the First Crusade. So, the Pope is in Italy. Well, Rome. Rome, Italy. Pope's in Rome. Then there's Constantinople and the Byzantines. And the Byzantines are at war with what I believe they would call the Persians at the time. I could be wrong about that, but people in the Middle East. This is when the Ottoman Empire was Christian, because it kind of does a flip-floppy. So Constantinople, Eastern Roman Empire is alive and well-ish. Byzantine Empire, who called themselves the Roman Empire, by the way. We only call them the Byzantine Empire to help distinguish them from the Roman Empire, because they were one in the same empire for a while, and then they split. Anyway, but they're having a hard time, and they basically go to the Pope and are like, hey, look, Pope, we need men to help fight. And then the Pope's like, yeah, cool, okay, what are you going to give me? And they're like, we'll give you money. And the Pope's like, yep, okay, I'll get you your armies. And then the Pope basically talks to all the noble families, and he's like, look, yay, we're going to go to Byzantine, we're going to go to war, and it's going to be great, we're going to make money, and we're going to get redeemed. And he basically, like, kind of makes this offhand comment about, like, if you go on the crusade, all of your sins will be forgiven type deal, like a free pass abolition, and you can make money doing it. And it's kind of, like, designed to be where basically the nobles will stay in charge and kind of control the peasants, and, like, then kind of go in strategic actual army style, as you would, and have, like, planning and strategy. But then what happens is there's some bishop in who knows where who says, God says we need to go take back the Holy Land type deal. We're going to go on a crusade. We're going to get freedom. And he's not a noble. And he riles and forms his own peasant army of not nobles and not soldiers. And he does this well before any of the nobles can actually get their armies organized. He just creates a peasant swarm in the middle of Europe. And then they say, yay, let's go crusade. And then they take off to a crusade. But the thing is they don't really know where anything is. So cue them going through and then, like, getting to Austria on their way there, and then they're like, we're coming through, and their castle's like, wait, what are you doing? And then they just attack the town in Austria, and they basically just, like, pillage half of the European countryside on their way to the Middle East, because they don't know really where the Middle East is, so they're just kind of attacking everything on the way, and they just kind of, like, continue this just mass of chaos and destruction that just is kind of growing. And the guy who originally started this, who was like a bishop, can't control it anymore. It's just gotten a life of its own, and it's just continuing to the Middle East. And then it gets to the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople, and they're like, yay, our allies have arrived to help us, but you're here really, really early. Wait a minute, you aren't quite our allies. What are you doing here? And they're like, we want supplies. They're like, we don't really have supplies for you. So then they ransacked the people that they were supposed to come help. And that was a whole mess. And then they continue to move on past that into the actual Middle East. They do get there in the end. And as the group of unarmed peasants who have just sown chaos all across Europe arrive into the Middle East, I'm going to say Persian, that could be the wrong group, army is there to meet them and just devastates them. Like, they were ready for a conflict, and the swarm of unarmed peasants was nothing for them. Took the peasants out. It was a laughable assault to the people that they were actually supposed to fight. And then they're defeated, they disperse, and the Persians go, that was hilarious. I don't know what they were even thinking trying to attack us. We got more pressing issues on the other side of the country. Glad that's taken care of, and take off to the other side of the country. And then, by this time, the lords have actually managed to gather their armies up, and then basically are kind of, like, following along the trail of chaos, with, like, every single castle being like, no, we are not giving you supplies, you just pillaged us, move along. Because, like, all of Europe's naturally pissed at the Crusaders now, until the Crusaders arrive in the Middle East, and the actual knights and soldiers who arrive in the Middle East walk in with zero defense. Because they saw the first attack and thought it was so laughable that it was done. So the actual soldiers walk in and just, like, take over Jerusalem. And are like, yay, we won! We're so victorious and heroic. And that was the First Crusade. That's how we won the First Crusade, was because we were so incompetent and destroyed like half of Europe on our way to the Middle East. So whenever someone tells you like that the Crusades were like noble experiences, and no, they weren't. They were just a CF, a Charlie Foxtrot beginning to end. A cluster fluff. The first one literally did more damage to Europe than it did the Middle East and the people they were supposed to be attacking. Oh. There you go. It's like an additional bonus fact.
Our construction is complete.
Based on all these little factoids we've been giving out, I feel like the next time we stream, we might want to play Crusader Kings.
We might want to play Crusader Kings. I'm okay doing that. I'm okay playing Crusader Kings. Do we know? Do they let us play as pagans yet?
I believe yes.
'Kay.
Last time I played, Pagan was one of the options.
Perfect. We're
There are-
going
there are a lot
pagan.
of-
I
I was
don't.
surprised with the diversity. I was expecting it mostly a European focus, but no, they got the Middle East, they got Asia, they got
My,
a lot.
my favorite thing
They
to
got
do.
parts of Africa.
My favorite thing to do in Crusader Kings 2 was one of two things, or three things. One, unify Ireland under Celtic paganism and stop the spread of Catholicism. Two,
Mhm.
same thing but with the German tribes, like Vikings, which is
Yeah.
much easier to do with the Vikings than it was the Celts. And the third option
Yeah.
was the Zoroastrians, which is like some kind of interesting mixture between like old-fashioned. It's like technically an Abrahamic religion, but at the same time it like deals a lot with adding in the old school, like Persian/Iranian pantheon. It's a unique thing. I don't know much about the actual religion, but I know Crusader Kings 2 there's a little bit of a mixed bag. Crusader Kings 2 tries to, and Crusader Kings 3 does a much better job of this. It like tries to be culturally sensitive. But it's also written by, like, Crusader Kings 2 was written by European white people, so it obviously had a bias type deal. But they've kind of readdressed that in terms of, like, Crusader Kings 3, they actually brought on some more people of other cultures and were like, hey, let's make sure we actually properly represent your culture.
Mhm.
So they listened to feedback and did the right thing in the end, is what I'm saying. Anyway, have I thought about doing Stream Raiders? I actually know very little about Stream Raiders. I've mostly done stream avatars because that's what I know. But if Stream Raiders is like a very popular suggestion, I could look into it. Is it free? What does it cost? Because that's a big factor. You don't know? I know Lady RP uses it. I've never actually seen it in use. Stream Raiders. It seems to be free. I'll give it a look. I'll give it a look and see if it's something that I'm interested in. I really like, I prefer stream avatars personally, because it's just a little bit more simpler, but if it's something that looks good, maybe I'll like alternate it a little bit. Because I do really, really like Stream Avatar, and my kid really likes Stream Avatar. Uh-oh, why hostile fleet? No, bad. That ship's gonna die.
Uh-oh, buddy.
Mm, what time is it? I probably want to be wrapping up soonish, to be honest. I gotta work a longer shift tomorrow. Unfortunately.
Hmm.
It's also 3 a.m. here. So it's not like I'm like... Don't worry, I'm not like going to bed at a reasonable time or anything.
Technology conceived.
Of course. Listen, I know you well enough that I wasn't even worried about that.
Okay. Yeah, let's start the wrap-up process here. But I do think tomorrow, let's just mix it up next week with Crusader Kings, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
We can do... I don't know, if we do Crusader Kings, like, I know very, very little about that game. I've not played Crusader Kings 3. I've played a lot of 2, but not a lot of 3. As in none.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we can probably have... I'll probably do a poll onto what country I play. I don't know if you want to do the same.
No, that sounds
Or we
fun.
can pick. But just like, because sometimes it's like, what country should we play? See what we got.
I'll say this, I do have the Viking expansions. You can play as the offspring of Ragnar the Red.
Ooh.
They have a whole thing where, Eadwulf, after he beheads Ragnar the Red, or not beheads him, throws him in a pit of snakes or whatever it was he did. You play as his enraged children, as one of his enraged children, and try to.
I approve of this. Okay. Oh. I'm ready to wrap up when you are, by the way, because I'm kind of just in that. We'll have to discuss what we want to do with this world. We've kind of hit the point where we're just kind of in that slow grind portion. So when we do come back to Stellaris, because I don't think we should wrap up Stellaris yet per se, we should probably consider like cranking it up to a much higher speed.
We have surveyed the
And
system.
kind of like the slow burn we've been doing. I don't know if it makes any sense. Did I lose you, Ben? Ben! Did I lose you? Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. Seem to be having some connection troubles.
Ben! Moth said pss, 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 and it worked. Like right as I saw that in chat, you reappeared. So Moth's
Oh.
magic confirmed.
Those were the magic words. You chanted my summoning soul song.
What do you have left to do?
I could probably just about wrap it up and just make sure my my folks are set about working.
Okay.
See, you're working. That's good.
Next,
That's
when we come
well,
back
fellas.
when we come back to Stellaris, I say we should crank up the speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe play
Maybe-
the game. I
Maybe
guess.
maybe
I
play
don't
the
know.
game and not go on an hour-long side rant about our
Listen,
youths.
I'll say this too.
I
I'm
mean,
not upset
I
that we did that.
I'm not upset about it at all either. I just, but
That was very entertaining for me.
I mean, I
But,
like you know me. I'm a good reminiscer. I like reminiscing about the past.
Yeah, I like a good little reminisce.
Back in my day, it
Especially
used to
considering how long
cost
it's
3
been.
shillings to the pound.
Oh boy, oh boy. See, I'm gonna start a 204-month project to convert all my zombies into the perfect beings. That's what I'm gonna do, and then
I believe in
we'll
you.
set off.
I believe in you. Do you believe in love after love? Can feel
Yeah.
ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. I don't
I've
know the
also-
words to this old song.
Set up for my my other races within my empire, my other species, my subservient livestock species.
Yeah.
I'm genetically altering them to be the perfect livestock as well.
Yep, Your
Boy, oh boy.
your noms.
I am a horde of zombies. What can I say? I'm playing a
You
horde of
gotta
zombies.
make sure your noms are top notch.
Top-notch noms. Docile, let's see, nerve stapled. Uh, delicious is one of the genetic traits you can give them. A few other things. Yeah. Very good. Okay,
Okay.
let's apply template. Apply it to the whole species. Cost me 51,000 uh engineering
Back in my day, I could eat lead
points.
paint and be fine. Now, if I eat lead paint, I supposedly will get lead poisoning. It's also back in the days when we didn't need to put none of that like pot stuff in a pipe. We just put in pure asbestos. I was the best kind of fat
Mm,
mouth feel you got with that asbestos smoke.
Here they got
Kids
rid of
these days
asbestos.
are too tender
Something
with all
about
them
cancer. Back in my
vapes.
day, when you get cancer, you just cut the cancer out. No problem. You got thumb cancer, cut off your thumb. You got lung cancer, cut out your lungs. We got iron ones, no trouble. But they're out here getting rid of asbestos.
I
What
remember
else are they going to use to prevent those cigarette fires, huh?
the cancer culture has gone too far, taking out asbestos. Back in
Cancel
my,
culture
we
is
had
what
that nice
finally
clean
did it.
snow and soda drinks.
True enough. Tell you what, Coca-Cola, that name used to mean something.
Did you know Coca-Cola is the only company in America that is allowed to, because it still has extract of the Coke plant in it, but it's the only company that's allowed to use that extract. It's not like, the actual, cocaine that it used to be, but it is actually
Extract of Coke.
extract of the same plant. It's not cacao, is it coca? There's a name for the plant.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hot cocoa. Cocoa, oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, that's the other thing I need to do, and then I can.
I'm going to exit the
Sorry.
desktop because we are paused, so I'm going to assume we aren't unpausing. Back in my day,
Yeah.
we... now we're back onto catalogs here. Back in my day, we used cereal to prevent us from doing the nasty. I remember when I had my first yogurt enema.
I like the sound of that. Taylor, what happened to family friendly?
That implies that children are going to know what an enema is.
That's a good point.
It's better than head cheese.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Depends on who you ask, really, if you think about it.
No, we aren't. No. I don't know why I brought this back up. We are steering that ship away.
Well, staring it sideways, getting stuck.
It's getting stuck in the canal. Dummy
Head
thick
cheese
boat.
canal.
Enema, I barely know. You bring out the worst in me, Ben, and I hope you know that, and that I love you for it.
That's why we gotta have an after-hours stream that kiddies aren't allowed into.
The Daffy
No
After
kids.
Dark. Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, there we go. My screen's readjusting to the not being in full screen anymore. There we go, baby. All right.
Yay! I've been kicked out. All right, all right, all
Get
right, all right.
out of here.
Let's go find us a target to raid.
A new victim.
Who shall be the newest victim in the raid of the days? Summer's Drew streaming? I couldn't resist. He might actually be though. No, I know he's not. We got Cuddly. We got Cuddly or Xeon's doing art. It's been a while since I've rated Xeon's. But Cuddly's always good. Yeah, Cuddly. We're doing a Cuddly raid then. Alright, get ready for the chaos. In the meantime, I do want to say that I... You're sleeping. I do want to say that I love all of you. I do really appreciate you being around. I hope that I hope that you can have a wonderful night. That whatever's in store for you, get the rest that you need. You know, I know real life isn't always the best, but I thank you for the time spending here, and I just want you to remember you're always welcome back. I'll see all of you again probably tomorrow when I stream with Drew. I just want you to know I love all of you, and goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Now opening it up so I can actually see what Cuddly's saying. Okay.
Alright, where does one even acquire games such as Genshin Impact? Okay, alright?
You gotta go to their website.
Ah, that's too much trouble. I can't do that. I changed my mind. I'm not doing this. Get on out of here.
Oh, Cuddly's got a hype train. And I just gotta, I guess gotta sub to Cuddly. Because they're keeping that hype
That's
train going. That is
email.
pure chaos.
I can't help.